No worries, mate. Say it's all good. I'm just happy we're getting a
I
game
was I was
started.
okay. I wasn't sort I was just getting the base. I thought it wasn't starting. I thought, oh, I've got a free hour. I'm in the game.
I mean, it's kind of ironic, mate, because like you were the one who said, "Oh, I'd rather start at 6," and so that's the irony. That's what It's
Trying to
mildly frustrating. So
fuck with the GM's head by giving mixed signals, hot and cold. Yeah,
you a player?
yeah.
Okay, right.
maybe
Yeah,
he'll
I could do without the
maybe he'll
mind
think
games. Thank
he'll be
you.
like product speak.
Oh dear. Right. So let us begin then. Right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Jonathan, would you do the honors and take us into the game?
Okay. Previously on Dark Heresy.
Episode 24. Grimsport. Whilst Cell 54 bought dangerous mutants and brought them on board the Malevolence, Cell 53 made their way towards Grimsport on board Gumbo's fanboat. Grimsport is one of the centres of power belonging to the Marino family. Militia patrols escorted the fanboat to a jetty where the Acolytes were interviewed by Big Mo Marino. Quintius, adopting a ridiculous accent and a ridiculous cover name, seemed to be in his element. Despite being drunk on Clear, he spun a cover story as to how they were refugees from Changa City and were looking for a place to lay low for a few days. Arnold suggested that they were willing to fight the orcs. Mo replied that good men were needed in the coming days. Things were going to change around these parts. The power of the Andrometus Combine was finished here. It was only a matter of time before the family took over. But the orcs had to be defeated first. Cell 53 were allowed to enter Grimsport, but warned to stay out of trouble. Old Gumbo thought better of it, and decided against joining them.
Fuck off, Gumbo.
I don't know why you dislike him so. The town seemed primitive for the most part, although some surface-to-air missile sites were noticed by Arnold as they approached. Curiously high technology for this place. The militia seemed well armed also, boasting shotguns, autoguns, and frag grenades. Once inside the settlement, Alexa's Vox crackled a burst of static, a repeating pattern that she would investigate later. For now, she turned the Vox off. The smell of fish seemed prevalent. Flies buzzed around incessantly, seemingly intent on Arnold. Yarn heard a bestial roar on the wind. He knew what it was, an orc. He told the others, and they headed east, away from the town proper. And here they found a large, deep pit dug into the ground. Within the pit was a captive orc, manacled to a boulder and crippled, one arm chopped off at the elbow. Cell 53 decided to throw rocks at the captive, with Quintius throwing an unusually fine blow that caught the orc across the temple and drew blood.
Take that.
The orc challenged them in guttural, low Gothic. It wanted a warrior's death, not to languish in some muddy pit for the amusement of rednecks. The orc challenged Arnold to free him and fight him like a true warrior. Quintius goaded Arnold to action. Arnold did not take the bait. Leaving the orc to its fate, they headed into town and made to sell some of the excess loot they had acquired. Arnold found that the croc flesh he had butchered only the day before had gone bad and writhed with small white maggots that put him in mind of the black blood of Bad Dog. Alexa ran into an old acquaintance from the port, little Cletus Digger, who owned a gun shop there. She sold to him a ton of weaponry and left her harpoon cannon with him, showing a large amount of trust. But it felt good not to have to carry so much weight around all the time. Jan took interest in a woodworker's shop, and once inside found an old woman, seemingly blind and arthritic, who produced masterwork fashioned from dark wood. He exchanged the idol of a laughing monk for a wooden staff, and his spirit felt all the better for ridding himself of the cursed idol. Cell 53 made their way towards the centre of town, towards an inn called the Stump. In the centre of Grimsport was a beautiful, massive golden statue of the laughing monk. It was a glorious work of art, immensely valuable. Heretical. Jan's knowledge of forbidden lore became invaluable. He recognised the symbol carved upon the monk's forehead. 3 circles linked. A symbol that he had seen on the planet Dusk. A chaos symbol. The mark of the plague god. One of the 4 aspects of the arch enemy. The plague god is the lord of disease and despair, of plague and decay, but also the lord of rejuvenation and hope. For decay begets regeneration, and from despair springs hope. Here in the depths of the bayou, worship of the emperor had given way to open heresy. Jan gave warning to his allies. He realized the danger that they were in. Cell 53 made their way with haste to an inn called the Stump. It was an uninviting place, smelling sour, of cheap ale and vomit. Alexa noticed a game of cards and another familiar face. It was Lim Marino, who had played cards with her before during the big game at the Honeypot. He was the one who had given Alexa the idea to come to Grimsport. Quintius bought rooms and ale, and this pleased Arnold, who had been waiting for ages to get an ale on this planet. He decided to join Alexa at the table, seemingly out of place. Jan smelt sickness in the inn and went outside for fresh air, at least what passes for fresh air. Quintius headed outside as well, and heated words were exchanged. Quintius was drunk on clear and Grimsport ale, and insulted Jan's bravery. Jan seemed angered and despaired on the lack of focus in the party. Instead of focusing on their objective, they resorted to alcohol, gambling, and women at the slightest chance. Had they learnt nothing? Here, outside the Stump, as tempers rose, the Acolytes' subtlety and cover seemed to falter. Their lips became loose. Were they heard? Quintius persuaded Jan to convince the others to leave the card table and come upstairs. Alexa was reluctant at first, but then had a change of heart. Upstairs, Alexa brought out the Vox system and made contact with Jagannatha. He had come to the surface with them and escorted them to Port Chula, the gallows town. The last time he had been seen, he had wandered into the honeypot after being warned of its dangers by Quintius. Jagannatha agreed with the peril that the casino represented and asked the Acolytes whether any of them had lain with any of the women there. The consequences of such were dangerous, irreversible. Jagannatha reported that his mission was going well and told Quintius that he had found the Dockhall Melissa. She was safe. He had a new mission for the Acolytes. There was a demonologist at Grimsport, one they called Mad Old Tommy Lee. It was a perfectly good name. Jagannatha had foresaw the importance of this man, who had access to forbidden knowledge. Tommy Lee knew much and more about the Miasma. Cell 53 must recruit this demonologist and get him to travel close to Port Chula for evac.
He doesn't have Mrs. Cobb Pamela, does he?
Jagannatha warned them not to fail him. Okay, guys, so I'm going to start off today just by giving you a reminder of your mission objective. What's up with you? What are you short about?
Well, you know,
I
we like
hope.
to drink and gamble.
Occasionally I was actually looking at the mission objectives, like the main one about the painting. I don't think during the entirety of the last year of real time, you ever made you never questioned about the painting to anyone, anywhere, anytime, once during the entire year. You did do your secondary objectives pretty well. The secondary objectives went reasonably well.
Well, we like to.
Yeah, you're muted, Dave. I think you're muted, buddy.
In my defence, I've come up with multiple plans to find out about the painting, and every time someone has foiled my plan.
No, it's
Most
all
of the
good,
time, it's Johnny.
It's all good. It's all good fun. Like I say, it's all good fun. But yeah, so I will tell you your mission objective just in case. You never know, do you? So the main objective is to find out the true location of this artifact painting. Now, very early on in the campaign, Yarn had a true telling, or at least he thought it was a true telling, and he foresaw that the painting could be found in a mobile battleship called the Victorious, which is the Merino's capital, for want of a better word. It's the seat of their power. Now, when you had a debriefing with Lucius after you returned to the ship, you found that information from Talos, who was the mutant that Cell 54 evac'd out of the mines. He had also made some discoveries which seemed to support that there was only a couple of people who potentially had any potential for having this painting at all, and that was the Merinos or the governor of the town itself. Now, he had heard also a rumour, which I think Alexa had also heard rumours, that Reptile Merino had a collection, an art collection. So I think there's some of the leads that have brought you out here to Grimsport, because it was also heard that Reptile was out this way as well. Or maybe it was just a whim that you decided to come out here. I'm not quite sure. I like to think that you were following the some little clues, or maybe you just went on a whim. I don't know. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. I think
you're giving us a bit too much credit.
Maybe.
I mean, like, in hindsight, we can say, yeah, Reptile's out here, that's why we've come here. But really, I think it was just a random whim.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think you might be right there, Dave. But I'd like to give you the benefit of the doubt. So I intend to.
I wouldn't.
No. I think the best of you guys. So that's your primary objective. The second primary objective you were given last session was to find and recruit this mad old Tommy Lee, who is supposedly somewhere in Grimsport. Jagannatha seemed really keen for you to do this. He even said, forget about the painting. I'll just come back onto the painting itself. Like I say, one more thing, Lucius wasn't willing just to go on the strength of Yarn's vision. He wanted something more concrete before he launched a full attack. So although he thinks the vision might well be true, he'd like you guys to get something a bit more concrete.
What the full stick, man?
He does. He wants the moon on a stick. So your two objectives are find out the location of the painting. Is it in the Victorious? Is it in Grimsport? Or is it somewhere else? And alongside that, it suggests that maybe one of the Merinos is the best way to find out this information. Your second primary objective is to recruit this Tommy Lee. And he should be somewhere in the town, but you're not quite sure. So before we get started, is there any questions? Because it's been a while. Any questions? Anything you want to get recapped on before we get going?
No, I'm good.
No, you're good. Okay, so you're sat in a room that Quintus has hired. The last thing you did was just have a conversation with Jagannatha over the Vox system. And his last words to you... Sorry?
Or Nagajaffa.
Nagajaffa, it works. So, Nagajaffa, he said his last words to you was, "Do not fail me." And the Vox cuts out. So you're sat in this room. It's not the most appetizing room any of you have been in. There's a cockroach scuttling around, you think, in one of the corners. What are you doing? It's around
Killing the
6 p.m.
cockroach.
Okay, you want to stamp on the cockroach. You get the feeling it may be looking at you. Do you want to try and stamp on it? Make a weapon skill attack at plus 30.
Yes, stamp on it.
Bye.
Did you pass, Dave?
Oh, he's adding to the suspense. Okay, you slam your heel onto the cockroach and it makes a satisfying crunch.
What did I say, Dave? What did I say the last time?
I don't know.
Skill?
I don't know. What did you say?
I was
What did
saying,
you say?
why don't you carry on hitting things with your sword? But you said, my weapon skill's rubbish. But I said, no, you're really lucky at it.
It's a cockroach.
Well, I know.
I got a plus 30.
Not anymore,
Alright.
it's not.
I just
When
want
it
to remind
crushed
you,
the
Dave, that
cockroach.
you are drunk still. I just want to remind you, Dave, you are drunk. You've got 2 levels of fatigue at the moment. Yeah, so you're full of clear and Grimsport ale, so you're on minus
That-
10s.
Yeah, so
Still,
that would have
yeah.
still been a hit.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
Right. I think it's quite clear, gentlemen, and Miss Lexa, what we need to do. Let us find this checks notes Tommy Lee Dangerfield, and then we can proceed with our other objectives.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Let's go downstairs and ask. See
Wait.
if there's anybody who knows Tommy Lee Dangerfield. Oh,
What?
Jan, do you know where he is using your witch site?
I can try.
What time of day is it, Alan?
It's 6 p.m., so the sun is going down. So it is getting late-ish.
Okay.
It's early evening, about 6 o'clock.
We can hunt Tommy in the dark.
I will inquire at the bar if you'd like while you're doing your thing.
I will stand guard at the door while Jan does his thing, to be fair.
Right. I'll
Okay, so you want to do a soothsaying then, is that right, Jan? You want to go down to the bar, Quintius? You're going to guard the door. What about Alexa? What would you like to do?
I'll to keep an eye on him because he's a bit drunk.
That's very wise, Alexa. You're going to go down. So
how dare you?
I'm going to start with Quintius and Alexa. I'm getting a bit of feedback from someone. I can hear my own voice. It's usually Dave.
I think it's
but I'm not
me.
certain.
I don't know why.
I don't know. It's often is you. I don't know why.
My mic's
anyway.
constantly on, but I don't.
Yeah. So you head down into the bar. You think that they probably need to change their sawdust. Over at the card table, Alexa, you notice that Lynn Marino is no longer there, but there's still a game going on with some. There's 3 people playing cards still.
Okay.
There's a few other people down there. There's a couple of perhaps not old crones, but they're perhaps middle-aged women, but they perhaps look like they've had an uphill bicycle ride at one of the tables, and they seem to be cackling. At each other, and they seem to be deep in Grimsport ale at the minute. And the whole place smells of sour ale.
So
Quintius and Alexa, what are you doing? You heading up to the bar?
I'm not going to drink. I don't think I'll be ploying juice here. I'm probably going to play cards, but keep an eye on yes as well. So
Okay, so you're going to head off to the card table.
Yeah.
Okay. Quintius.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to approach the bar.
Mhm.
Is the barman busy at the moment?
Yes, he's not cleaning his glass though.
Oh, what's he doing?
He's just putting a dirty glass back on the shelf by the
That's
looks
all
of
right
it.
then. That's okay. I'm going to say, excuse me, my good man.
He goes, hello, sir. How may I be
Hello.
of assistance?
We spoke earlier. I rented a room in your fine establishment. I was wondering if you could help me. And I'm going to slide 5 drachma across the bar at him and say, I'm new in town, refugee from Tachanga City, and I'm looking for an old acquaintance of mine. Goes by the name of Mad Old Tommy Lee. I was wondering if you knew of him.
Okay, I'd like you, please, to make a inquiry roll at a -10. Oh no, so it's a -10 for difficulty, and you're also -10 for your fatigue, for your level of
Sweet.
drunkenness.
What could go wrong? -20.
Dave, your voice makes Owen laugh when you're doing that accent.
Oh dear.
I'm
I'm going to fate point that.
Okay.
Oh shit. I've done something horrific to roll 20. Just a second. Oh god, what have I done? Hang on. Roll 20's gone really weird. I've got a load of gobbledygook in there. There we go.
No, not the gobbledygook.
Not the gobbledygook. Alright, I'll try that again. -20. That's slightly worse. Slightly less worse.
And the barman says, "Oh, sure, I know old man Tommy Lee. An acquaintance of yours, you say?"
Yeah, I seen him here and there, bumped into him a couple of times in Changa City, and bumped into him once in the bayou, and he said if I were ever in the neighborhood to seek him out. We shared an interesting drink together one night, had a little chat. Interesting fellow, just wondered if he was around. Don't know no one else in the town, you see?
He goes, yeah, I don't know exactly where he is right now. He comes in here from time to time, spouting all sorts of mad shit. But, yeah, I don't know where he is right now. He's got a shack somewhere out there. I don't know where, though. Don't know where exactly, out on the outskirts somewhere.
Okay, well,
Look,
thanks for
anyway,
your
I
time.
think he gets about. He's definitely in town, I reckon.
Yeah, I mean, certainly a character, that mad old Tommy Lee. Definitely mad, but interesting nonetheless.
Surely is. A strange man, you see. I don't know, there's some around here who think he only speaks in lies, but there's others who says he only tells the truth. I don't know what to believe.
Well, maybe there's a little column A, a little column B. Well, thank you for your time, sir.
He goes, and he nods his head at you. Alexa, I would like you, please. Are you sitting down at the
Yeah.
card table? I'd like you,
Thank you.
please. The card player. There's a couple that were there when you were at the table last. But there's one of them as a new person there who seems to have taken the place of Lem.
Uncle Huckleberry.
Uncle Huckleberry. It's a perfectly good name. Okay,
Yeah.
and you're allowed to draw back in at the table, Alexa.
Okay.
And I would like you. Well, first of all, are you saying anything, or do you want to just get on with the cards? What is it you want?
I'll start. I'll just play a hand. I'll start making inquiries.
Okay, I'd like you, please, Alexa, to make a gamble roll.
Farewell.
So, Alexa, the air is heavy with smoke. You play a few hands, but you just get chipped off your blinds. You don't actually make any bets because you get some quite poor hands. So you're down 15 drachma.
Yeah.
And if you'd remove that from your
Yeah, I'll do
character,
that.
please. So you play some hands. There's not much talking going on at the table, but then Uncle Huckleberry he speaks up and goes, "Yeah, you know what I heard, and I heard old Wesley's he's been a stealing." And Father Utah looks over. Father Utah's still quite drunk, and he's the one who's taken most of your drachma.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Stealing? Stealing from who, Huckleberry?" "Oh, he's been stealing from the family, of course. He's been stealing from Reptile. You know what that means." You see Utah, he goes, "Stealing? That ain't very clever." And Huckleberry goes, "Oh, yeah, he's been spending all that money in the honeypot on one of them girls. I forget what her name is. I don't know." And Utah, he goes, "Well, yeah, I mean, you know what's going to happen. No, nothing good's going to come of that for old Wesley. He's going to end up in the pool." And Huckleberry goes, "Lily, that's the one. She's been spending all his money on Lily. He stole a load of money, and now he's been spending on that whore." Okay, so
I like to shift a little bit. Right. Where can I find Reptile? If I wanted to.
who are you asking? Are you asking everyone, or are you asking specific residents? This is free at the table.
Yeah,
hopefully
I'll ask Uncle Huckleberry. Seems to be. He might know.
Okay, I'd like you to make, please, an inquiry roll, and I'll give you a +10.
My inquiry
Because of the difficulty. Excuse me. And Uncle Huckleberry looks at you, and Uncle Huckleberry wasn't there when you was playing before. He's new to the table, so he wasn't there. So he doesn't really know you, and he wasn't there at the honeypot either. And he looks you over, and he goes, "Are you local?" And then he looks over at Samuel, who just shakes his head slightly. And Uncle Huckleberry says, "Yeah, I don't know where Reptile is. I guess if he wants to speak to you, he'll find you."
I guess so.
And then conversation seems to dry up at the table. So, upstairs, Jan,
Yeah.
you want to perform a soothsaying? What question are you asking the spirit world?
Show me where Tommy Lee lives.
Okay. So you're asking where Tommy Lee is or lives?
Where did Tommy Lee be?
Where did Tommy Lee be? Okay, so I'd like you, please, to make a soothsaying roll. You can have +10 for your finger bones.
First of all, I'm going to go for a neck.
Okay.
What's the order? Let's try the spell that should not be named.
Okay.
Yep.
Strong.
Then the connect. Also,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, so your soothsaying then is a +20 then for the finger bones and for neck.
Where you be, Tommy Lee? Seek your mind.
Oh!
The spirits. The spirits. Okay. Right. You cast.
We're gonna bring
the
him
finger
to you.
bones. You cast the finger bones. You go into a trance. And your eyelid twitches slightly as you beseech the spirits and ask them, Where is Tommy Lee be? And as is often the case, you see as if you are in a dream, and the images that you see are haphazard and abstract, and you know that you are having a true telling. You see the face of Tommy Lee Dangerfield. He looks ragged. His hair is lank, greasy, and grey in colour. Atop his upper lip is an unkempt walrus moustache. He looks much like the rest of the Bayou folk, dirty, lean, and wiry. You've seen his face. You gain a view of the town of Grimsport. But in the nature of dreams, the imagery of this place is totally different. Here, in the dream of Grimsport, the entirety of the sky is enveloped by the miasma, bruise-like, yellow and purple and black, swirling and alive and growing exponentially. The ethereal light flickers over the town, and, in the centre of the horizon, blotting out the sun, is a giant golden statue of the laughing monk. This giant monk looks down over the town, but he is not immobile and metal. He is cursing with life and laughs at what he sees. Below, in the town, you see Tommy Lee. He is sat out in the southwest by the farms. He sits at the side of a pig pen. The pigs feed and roll in the mud and seem to enjoy his company. Tommy Lee reads and enjoys the relative peace away from the other folk. And from time to time he looks up from his tome and talks to the pigs. And then the dream flickers. Now you see Tommy Lee in the bayou, beside a pool, dazzling blue and green. He talks to another man, but his words are muffled and silent in the nature of dreams. The other man is short and scaled, with yellow slitted eyes and a long, forked tongue. The short man has power, and beside him is a three-headed dog, muscled, disciplined, and deadly. The short man, the lizard man, is asking Tommy Lee about 5 captives, bound and gagged and helpless in front of them. Others are here too. Militia, mutants, more dogs. Tommy Lee knows things. He tells the lizard man what he knows. The short man with the yellow slitted eyes and the lizard-like skin seems happy with the answer. With a nod, the 5 captives are thrown into the pool, without ceremony. Bound, they cannot swim, and they fall beneath the surface. The pool is deep. The dream flickers. And now you see Tommy Lee walking through the bayou, alone, and every now and then he stops and he checks a plant or a tree. And you see him stop and harvest some pollen of a flower with a bright red colour. Flicker, flicker, flicker. Again and again the dream shifts Now you see him asleep in a shack. Now you see him drinking sour ale in the stump. And now you see him out in a boat on the river. The soothsaying shows a number of locations, seemingly the place where he resides the most. Again and again and again, the dream flickers. And you see that one location is the most common place to find him. The pig pens. There is a piece there. You see Tommy Lee sat on his own, talking to the pigs. And his face rises, and he makes eye contact with your spirit form. Yarn, Tommy Lee sees you, and the dream ends. So you are totally and utterly confident that you know exactly where Tommy Lee is. You know this is a true telling. It's just like when you foresaw where the painting was all those time ago. You know that this is a true telling. In fact, you're confident that you could, go straight there if you wanted to. Such is the belief in your own viewing. So well done, Jan, for your second critical success on the soothsaying.
Your Asta visions.
Well done, James.
Yeah.
I'd want to say to Arnold, is there anything you'd like to do, Arnold? Everyone else has had a bit of time to do stuff. Is there anything you want to do? You just stood at the door guarding. Is there anything else you'd like to do? Or
Right, I'd like to talk to Jan and ask him, did you see anything yet? Sorry, wrong voice, that's Jan. Did you? It's so hard to get from Jamaicans.
Remember, what's your key word? What's your key phrase? Get to the chopper!
Get to the chopper!
No, everybody get down. So Jan, that's it.
Jan! That's the way to do it.
Anything.
I'm Arnie.
I'm Darwin. I'm Arnie. That doesn't sound like Arnie.
Yes,
If there's kids that got to try and remember not to swear, then I.
So first I'm going to ask Jan if he saw anything. Jan, did you see anything?
No.
I'm going to open my eyes and I'm going to say, Yama.
Oh, brilliant. Do we need to set off and go where we need to go?
Yeah, let's go find him.
Yeah, I'm coming with. Okay.
Okay, guys.
Watch your back.
Oh well,
Okay.
fuck it. It's worth just walking.
Yeah.
Going and seeing if there's any.
I'm just going to go for a slash. I'll be right back.
It's alright, if he struggles, I can just carry him to where it needs to be.
Where do we have to take him? Was it a location just outside of Port Tula, did he say? Yeah. So
northwest on the map to Port Tula.
I mean, just to metagame a little, it sounds like he knows Reptile.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also, to metagame a little, I'm not sure if I trust Yaganatha. I worry he might be a double agent.
Look at that one. Copy it in reverse.
So maybe, and also like to say that don't go after the painting when that's our main objective and our reason that Lucius wants us here. That sounds a bit like why does he want the demonology? But then we do really need a demonologist because there's the fucking floating brain thing on the ship now.
And he knows if he does know Reptile, he might be an in. And another thing I've just thought of actually, which I'm going to ask Alan about in a second. Alan,
Hello.
sorry to break the flow and the order a bit, but what Alexa was told at the card table, did Quintius hear any of that?
Yeah, so how I'm playing this is that when you say at the card table, you mean in the stump, you mean, or at the big game in the honey pot?
Yeah, in the stump just now, yeah.
So make an awareness test at -10 for the difficulty and -10 for your drunkenness, please.
Fair enough. Could maybe we'll do it. I did not.
Yeah, I mean, it's the noise of the two crones are perhaps distracts you, or maybe you're just not paying too much attention because you're a bit drunk or what have you. You don't hear what Alexa hears.
Just having a good time at the bar by myself. Splendid.
Yeah, so the table's off in one of the corners, and yeah. So unfortunately not. So what are you doing, guys? What are you doing?
Well, I'm going to head downstairs. I'm going to go have a look for this fella in the location I think he is.
Okay.
Follow Yarn.
Time sensitive.
So are you taking Quintius and Alexa with you? I mean, you everyone will see these guys coming down the stairs into the main room. Are you heading off as a group, or are you splitting the party?
It might be. I'm just thinking it might be a bit more low key if we don't all go as a big group and surround
Just
this guy.
play the card game, Johnny. Just play the card game. We know that's what you want to do.
I just want to make sure that
I'm going with them.
Get into any trouble. That's all I'm sort of.
Unless there's any reason that I don't see Yarn and Arnold coming down the stairs and heading out of the sump, then I'm going with them.
No. You both see them come down, and I guess you're heading out. Are you saying anything to them as you go, or are you just heading out, guys?
Yeah, I'll say to Quintius, "Yo, man, I think I got a lead. You coming? Or you want to stay here and chill with the Alexa?"
Yes, I would love. I would sure love a late night walk with you, my friends.
Okay. You see Alexa? She's sat playing at the cards at the table. Are you speaking to her, or are you just heading off?
Yeah, I say, "Yo, Alexa, I go see a man about a pig. You want to come or you want to play the cards?"
Yeah, I want some bacon.
I was like, do you need me to come?
Oh no, man, I don't know.
Utah speaks and he goes, "It's perfectly safe here in Grimspot. Nothing bad could possibly happen to you out on the road."
I'm going to hold you to that, man. You look after my companion, you hear?
Very good. Okay, so Alexa, are you staying, or are you heading out with them?
Well, it might draw a bit of attention if we all leave at once.
I think I actually think that you are kind of right here. If you go off as a big group, it may draw more attention than splitting up. So even though I'm kind of joking about splitting the party and what have you, it does make sense. But it's up to you. Your decision's yours.
Yeah, just to make a game, if Johnny wants to do some gambling, now's as good a time as any, I think. So.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll stay because I don't think there's anything that I can add to this. This guy's going to obviously recognise Jan from this vision because he's seen him. If we all went there fully tooled up and armed, it might panic. I don't know. It might freak him out a bit. I don't know. He seems to be the type of person who likes peace. So if he's suddenly crowded by a group of heavily armed people, might spook him.
That's why I'm going. I'm not heavily armed.
There you go.
Yeah, plus you've got skill at gambling. You've got skill at gambling, Johnny, which in theory you should be able to make some money off gambling. You're quite good at it. But obviously it's role dependent. But and what I'm going to do for gambling in this game, Johnny, I'm not going to play the full kind of cards like we have done before because that takes quite a lot of time. So we're just going to do it a quicker version of it just to keep things moving.
That's fine.
So you three are heading out.
Yes. Sorry, just one more thing before we go. I don't recognise any of the people Alexa's gambling with, do I? I don't know who they are. No.
And Alexa doesn't really know them either.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
So the one person Alexa did recognise is now gone.
Was Lim.
And he's now gone, but you're not quite sure where.
Gonna leave her all by herself, defenceless.
Well, to be honest, Hayden, she's probably got more chance of defending herself on her own than if I'm with her. So I'm probably more likely to get her into trouble or accidentally shoot her or intentionally shoot her. So I may as well come with you guys.
Is that some kind of boxing transformer?
It's just made out of Lego.
Oh, wild!
It's like
Punch your dad in the face with it.
Go on, then, punch me in the face. With it.
Bow!
And again.
Ow!
Oh, not the face!
Take D1 damage.
Minus your toughness and armor.
Yeah,
Okay, guys.
minus
So, I've moved you onto the Grimsport map. So there's a random red square. I'm just going to take off that. So
that was my
at the
butcher
minute,
shop. Oh, that was my butcher shop.
well, if you need to find the butcher shop again, I can always add that back in.
Alright,
So at the
alright.
minute, don't you worry. So the minute you are here, which is the stump, it's this blue building here.
Yeah.
Yarn, you know the route. You know, you are confident, and you are certain that you can take the others there, and you want to head out here to the outskirts, outside of the town itself, out to where the farms and the pig pens are. So that's the second red dot, which I've just put here. Oh, that's not worked. Anyway, so yeah, so you want to be over here. As soon as you walk out of the stump, you see the golden statue of the Laughing Monk again. And now that the sun is practically set, and the light of the miasma is the only light in the sky, it totally changes the appearance and the dynamic of this statue. So the ethereal warp light is shifting and playing tricks with the outline, and it looks utterly disturbing. And it does look like the statue is alive, the way it catches the light. It looks like it's laughing.
Good news, gentlemen. I have it on good authority that this mad old Tommy Lee is somewhere in the town.
What?
I asked the barman. I told him I was an old acquaintance, slipped him a few coins. He said he didn't know exactly where he was, but he was somewhere in the town. Now we just have to find where.
Princess, right, followers. Oh, what's your name? Smithwith.
Artichoke Smithwith.
Smithwith, Mr. Smithwith.
I don't know what Yarn's seen. I'm just following you two.
Yeah.
David's role playing exceptionally well and not metagaming, and I applaud him for it.
Well,
It's like
knows where it is, but he hasn't told me. But he knows where it is.
It's like last game where everyone went to the east towards the Orc and I went west because I had no idea where the sound was coming from.
Well, guys, you all smell fish.
Yeah. Fucking cow. I want to be done with it.
Brother, smells a lot of fish in here.
Ah, brother. Carl, let's keep the
crossing the streams.
Let's never cross the streams. Okay, so
I reckon someone needs to wash the groin.
what are you doing, guys?
I had my suspicions that smell was Alexa, but she's not with us now, so.
So we're basically heading to wherever Yarn is leading us.
I think I have seen where this man live in Division, man, or where he is most of the time. So follow me, go for a little walk. And,
consider me hot on your heels, Yarn.
Okay. It's not so bad out here. What?
Alexa, don't respond. It'll blow the cover. Take them for everything they've got, girl.
Alexa would smile. She's got some ghost memories smiling, but she can't because she ain't got the facilities.
Can I have an awareness test for everyone, please? For you three who are outside, can I have an awareness test for you guys at -20? -30 for Quintius.
Yay!
Because you're drunk. Still.
I walk into the back of Yarn.
Okay. So what are you doing, guys?
I'm just following Arnold and Jan.
So Yarn, you heading off, right?
Yeah, man.
Okay, so you head off, and there's not as many people out and about, but there's still quite a few people, and you can't help but think that people are looking at you, that you're attracting a bit of attention. You might hear the occasional mutter, "They're not local," but you ignore that, and you head out of the town, and you're confident you know exactly where to go, and you head out towards the pig pens. So just one moment while I do a thing.
I think I've discovered a local pocket of my fan base, gentlemen. they can all see me. I must restrain myself from waving. I'm undercover, don't you know?
Okay.
It'll get embarrassing if they start asking for autographs. No, I'm Artichoke Sniffleworth.
Okay. So after a short walk, I'm just going to take Alexa off it. You find yourself at the pig pens. Now the smell of fish is intertwined with the smell of pig shit. And over there by the pigs, Jan, just as it was in the dream, exactly so. You see him, and you know that it's him because you've seen him in the vision, and it's mainly the walrus mustache, which is a giveaway. But you can see him over there by the pig pens.
All right. Let's go introduce ourselves, man.
And you see he's kind of sat down, and he doesn't seem to be doing much. He just seems to be relaxing. He's got a stick of corn in his mouth that he's chewing idly. Not corn on the cob, like a.
Can I turn everyone's attention to the fact that my token has a hard hat?
What happened to you?
That's what I'm wearing.
Quintius is wearing a hard hat. He looted it.
Did you
Looted it from the PP cupboard.
You've made your token, haven't you?
Yeah.
There's your box of fucking sword.
I've got a few.
Your guns out, I see.
Yeah, and I think I've even got my bag on the floor, my disguise kit. Which is currently, I believe my disguise kit is currently tied to Arnold. I think it's hanging from his bag.
I believe so. I'd have to check, but I do think you definitely offload a lot of your.
I
equipment
definitely
onto Arnold like a pack horse.
Yeah, I pack horse the shit out of Arnold, didn't I? Yeah.
I mean, if you really want to know, I can check that shit out. But
I know I've got it.
I think it's probably the case.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so you're on the map now. You're on the map, guys. Your tokens are on there.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Right.
Let's go to. Shall we go see the man? Which one is he?
Clear casual, man. Don't crowd him. We don't want to scare him off.
Is he one of those pigs?
I think. You go first, yeah. I'm going to look at the pigs.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I'll join you at the pigs, Arnold.
Well, if anybody's back's turned, having bothered with the pinkies. Pig stealing time, Quintus. Let's live a bit.
You do see there is a farmer off in the distance.
Let's wrangle him
So
first.
I'm not saying you can't steal the pigs. Just saying there are witnesses.
Don't be
As
stealing
it
this
stands.
man's pigs, man.
Maybe we should buy a pig.
Well, yeah, you might.
So Jan, are you heading up alone, or like you're heading up and talking to him? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to try and beckon him over. So, your man, I think you must be Tommy Lee. You look like a man I need to know.
Okay. He stands up and he throws aside the piece of corn, and he walks up towards you, and he speaks. And he looks just like he did in your vision. Yeah, down. It's you're certain you'll say your vision was a true telling. And he looks at you, and he looks you over, and he plays idly with his walrus mustache for a second. He goes, "It's you! It's the shepherd of souls! I knew you would come. I know a lot of things. People don't always believe me, but it's true." Sorry, what
I
you
hear
saying
you
now?
got. I hear you got the knowledge of this planet, the things that reside within the maelstrom.
And he nods, and again he plays idly with his walrus mustache. And he goes, I know a lot of things, it's true, and it's hard to make sense of it all. What I see happens, maybe not straight away, but always. And it don't always make sense until afterward, but I saw you. I saw you hovering there in the sky, and I saw you, and I knew you were coming.
Yeah, man. I could tell you could see me. You got the sight as well.
And he nods, and he goes,
Oh no, it's fine. That's fine. I'll wear the other one.
What do I do with it?
Wash it.
Miles.
Jacob's been sick in my cap.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's the highlight of the evening.
right in it.
That's,
Like,
That sounds intentional.
It
That's
does.
like
It does. I believe it may have been.
Tommy, you put me off my stride.
Didn't see that coming, did you, Tommy?
Wait, just give me a second. I was going to go. I see many things at the minute I see a child vomited into a piece of hatware. That don't make no sense, does it? But he says to you, he says, I knew you would come and asked me to go with you. You want to take me on board a ship. Only it don't sail on no waves. Sails across the stars.
Yeah, man. Is that something you want to do? Want to come with us? Maybe learn a bit more about your gifts, man. Help you understand the way of reality and the maelstrom.
And he says, yeah, we're going to sail across the stars. You and I. We're going to sail into the heart of the plenty.
Oh.
Together we'll go to the beggar world and we'll face the butcher.
Oh, man. You see so much. I need to know what you know.
As he...
Come with me. Let's go to the spaceship. You need to leave this place.
Okay.
This
And
place is first, man.
As he said that, as he said his last sentence, as in, going to go to the beggar world and face the butcher, there's a ruckus amongst the pigs. Grunting, infectious, screaming and anger. And you see a large sow turn and look towards the sky, towards the miasma. It turns. It screams a terrible scream.
Pig scream.
And it falls. The sow looks dead. Then another and another. The pigs drop one after another, and the whole herd collapses over the course of a minute or less. The cries, the screaming is soon silenced.
Is that normally how these creatures are butchered, Arnold? I've never been around them.
You come to me. Anyway, no, I've never seen this sort of form of killing. Maybe it's local to the planet.
Locally?
Maybe they just killed the herd. We'll have got collars on. Shall we go and investigate?
Let's go and have a look at the pigs, Arnold. Let's have a closer look.
Are you going to climb over the there's a small wall?
Actually, no. I'm going to get the
Well,
farm first. I'm I'm going to run over.
Tommy Lee says to you, Jan, he says, I think we're going to get in trouble.
I'm gonna
I'll leave it. I'll leave it.
put my staff out to the guys as they get close to the pigs.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I
Give them warning.
I'll
And,
go. Okay.
remember, man, this place is owned by the plague god. Don't get too close to anything that's just died for no fucking reason.
Ah, yes, good point, Jan. Well there. Well
We
put.
check the flow of the wind.
Okay. So the wind is blowing from the west to the east.
I'm going to.
Right.
Turn to the farmer and go, Farmer man, I say, farmer man, your livestock has just all died for seemingly no reason. You should maybe take that out.
You call over the farmer, and the farmer takes off his hat, and he grips his hat manically, clutching at it, and he goes, "Oh no!" and he runs over, seemingly in a panic, and goes, "Oh no! The plenty gives and the plenty takes."
Such is the way with these things, sir. Sometimes you gotta take the rough with the smooth. I offer you my condolences for your loss, my good sir.
And he goes, I'm ruined. And he clutches his hat in his hands and grabs at it, taking all his stress out onto it.
I'm gonna flick a drachma at him.
I feel like that too. I'm going to give him 17 drachma.
Harsh, man.
So
Buy yourself a new pig.
I'll give you 17. Here you go.
okay, so you hand over a total of 18 drachma. Now you don't know exact how things work here, what the cost of things are, but you have a sneaking suspicion that this maybe doesn't even cover one pig.
Yeah.
Let alone the loss of about 15 or 16.
Hey, this was a token of I was being very kind here. This isn't my fault.
It's not your fault.
Don't spend it all at once, sir.
That's mighty kind of you, sir. I guess.
Where did Juggernaut want us to head to?
Northwest.
Okay, well, no, I'll show you. I mean, what he said was he wanted you to basically ask Tommy Lee to go to close to Port Chula. So I'll put you onto a map.
Howling pigs, man. Howling pigs.
So we didn't say that you had to take him there, but you need to get him to here. So hopefully you can see the map of the biome. Now Grimsport is over here at the top left, and the extraction point for Tommy Lee is over. He said 1 mile northwest of Port Chula. We've got an orc camp over here. This is where you spent the night yesterday. And this is where you think is Flight Lieutenant Charles Ash and air support.
This is that abandoned camp where we were beforehand?
Yes, that's where you spent the night. What it was, you were originally when you met Inquisitor Mullen Spinebreaker, you were at Stinger's Fork here, and then you abandoned that place because you thought, oh well, they must know where we are, because obviously Deadeye had come and seen you. So then you headed off to another camp, which was over here, and you killed a little time there for the night, and then you headed upriver, all the way up to Grimsport, and that's been most of you today, travelling on the river.
So are these the rivers then?
The black lines are the rivers, yes.
Right, so could we potentially just walk?
We'd have to take him.
It'd be a long walk across unfamiliar terrain, but it's possible.
Yeah.
We don't have to take him, do we? We were just told to send him there. We weren't told to take him there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you've got 2 mission objectives at the moment, so ideally you can accomplish both of your objectives.
We just need to find someone who knows something about this painting. and then we can get out of here. But we don't have to go with him now. And there must be plenty of people in Grimsport. We know there's Lim, Mourinho. We think Reptile might be here. These are both people that we can try. And the third option is, I've got a feeling we can maybe do something with Wesley.
This guy's got foresight. Shall we ask him? He might have something for us.
Yeah, but we only know that Lucius doesn't want a psychic vision because Jan had a psychic vision. We need someone to tell us exactly where the painting is, don't we?
Yeah, but Dragonath also said forget about the painting.
Yeah, but Jan's psychic, and Lucius said that wasn't good enough. So why is another psychic that we've just met gonna?
No, not if he divinate. What if he's actually seen it with his own eyes? Or what if he knows Reptile?
I mean, he might have done. We could ask him.
I've got no. It doesn't matter. I can't even get involved because I've just got 8 morale.
Hold on, let me just start off. Like, there's nothing to stop you from role playing and asking questions, doing stuff. I'm not always going to ask you to make an inquiry roll. And I don't want you to think like you always have to keep your gob shut because you can't ask questions because you're too scary. Now that may happen sometimes, but I don't want you to think, oh, I can't say anything because that's also a little bit metagaming.
Yeah, that's stupid. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I was just trying to play him a little bit like a star, but that's fair enough. Okay, I'm going to go. Tommy Lee.
He goes, "Oh, it's the horse killer. Nice to meet you, man."
It was your wolf, man.
So you know about this. So what else? What else do you know? I need. Damn Brownie's voice. What else do you think I need to know? I'm looking for Reptile Marino and a painting.
And he goes, a painting? I mean, I know where old Reptile is. I seen him only the other day. He's the one who summoned me here, and he asked me things. And I can't really say no to the man. So, but yeah, I know where he is. He's out by the drowning pool.
What did he ask you, my friend?
He normally asks whether people are loyal or whether they traitors, and the traitors he puts them in the pool.
Who did he ask about? Who was he asking if they were traitors?
Oh, he was asking about some folk, and they said they were refugees. Only he didn't like them very much. He didn't trust them. He doesn't trust no one. Reptile. So then he asked me whether we could trust him, and I said no, you can't trust him. So then he put the man in the pool, and then they never came out.
Well, at least
no one comes out of the drowning pool.
Thank you, Tommy Lee, wasn't it?
Yes, sir. And he bows his head.
Tommy Lee, do you know if anybody keeps some good, valued pieces of artwork on this, and where would it be?
Well, I know Reptile's a collector, but he never told me where he keeps them.
Think he's willing to sell any if it's got for sale, or just collect because he can?
You'd have to ask him. I surely don't know. I don't know about that. But it's hard to get an interview with him. It's he don't speak to most folk. He's a real big fish around here.
Where is this drowning pool, Tommy Lee?
Oh, it's not far. It's not far. Yeah. Do you happen to have a map? I could maybe show you.
Is that muting when I cough?
I do.
No, we got all that cough quite perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, well, I found out why my mic's fucking up. My mute button stopped working.
Oh, Gumbo made me one, didn't he? So here you go. Show
He
my
did
Gumbo
indeed.
map.
He did indeed, and it's exactly the same map which we have up on Roll20. And lo and behold, it's already marked there in blue, close to Grimsport. And he takes out a little piece of charcoal which he has, and he gets close to Arnold, and he draws on where it is, not far away. It's just down to the south west. And as he gets close, you get a faint smell of cheese.
My mouth starts watering a bit as I think about eating the demonologist.
Tommy Lee.
Yes, sir.
We have instructions to arrange for you to travel to a certain location. Are you familiar with Port Changa?
Port Changa. Do you mean Changa City or do you mean Port Chula? I mean, I
That's
heard
the one.
Changa City was ruined by the orcs. I mean,
You'll have to forgive me. I've had a considerable amount of drink today. I mean Port Chula.
Yeah, of course I know where Port Chula is. Yeah, of course I do.
But the location we were asked to bring you to is somewhere near there. Do you think you could get there unescorted?
Oh, gosh, I reckon I can get away. I just need to get a boat. I can head on over there. That'd be easy. Not a problem.
Excellent. Would you give me a moment to confer with my colleagues, please? I'm just going to try and lure Jan and Arnie away a few steps and say, I think, as a gentleman of this locale, familiar with the environments here, he's quite capable of making his way to Port Chula, especially if he has a boat. Now, this might sound a little outrageous, a little dangerous, but we could spend time mincing around Grimsport looking for someone who might know if Reptile has a painting.
Whoa! What do you mean mincing around? I don't mince around anywhere.
Okay, semantics. What we could do is go straight after this Reptile himself. If anyone knows what Reptile has in his collection, it will be Reptile.
Yeah, man. We need to go somewhere.
I think Hayden
and discuss our next move, man.
I think I'm going to move over to Alexa for a little bit,
Yeah.
because she's been sat out for a little while. I think Hayden's also put himself on mute because he wants a little break or something. So I would like to go over to Johnny.
I'm just going for a piss.
And do a little bit of gambling. So your friends have headed off, and they've left you here all alone in the stomp. You've got 3 opponents around the card table. Alexa, how many drachma are you putting down? It's a cash game.
I'll put 50 down.
You're putting 50 down as your stake?
Yeah.
Okay, so your fellows have headed off. I'd like to do a round of gambling, which is when the blind's travelling all the way around the table. So this will represent 4 or 5 hands. And I want you to make a opposed gamble roll.
All right.
Against...
you'll have to move back on the thing to give Sarah a hand.
No worries, mate. Okay, right.
Yeah,
Okay.
no
So
worries.
we're gonna have to... I think we'll just take a pause now, because I think we're losing people left and right. So.
Right, well, sorry.
It's all right, mate. I can't hear you, Hayden, but I'm off for a slash, and we'll just take your time, whatever you need.
It's all right, I'm back now. I was just...
You're back now, yeah. It's kind of ironic. I went on to Johnny. Sorry?
Well, first time I've talked to my daughter since...
Yeah. No, it's absolutely fine, mate. You got to pay attention. You can't that's absolutely fine. I just thought I'd take the opportunity to go over to Johnny, who'd been sat out for a little while, and then as soon as I did that, he got called away by Sarah. So we'll come back to you guys in a minute. And then, mate, obviously, you've got to pay your daughter.
We are the family then.
Yeah. So I'm going to, and I've also got to remember not to swear. I forget now that you're in the family house. There might be children around. So
you don't swear that much anyway, to be honest.
Okay. Anyway, I'm just going to go for a quick slash, and then we'll come back to you 3. Okay.
Luckily, Quintius doesn't swear very much, apart from when he's drunk.
I don't think I actually swear too much now.
I don't need to swear, do I? Because I've got my my pre-printed list of Victorian insults.
Yeah, that's been cool.
I haven't used them for a while, actually. I might have to get some.
Everyone's right. I'm going to go for my pipe in the garage in a second. Join you in there. Are you enjoying my game, Dave?
Yeah, it was really good fun.
Yeah, well, I think you two made it good fun between you, but does it look all right between, going through it?
Yeah, it worked really well.
I've literally built so much, Dave. You lot are going to have lots of fun talking. I've got missions and everything. It's just like going around grabbing a daughter in Hades prison. That's basically how I've done it. It's like Grandford prison.
It was fun.
Yeah, good. You should have more fun. There's lots to do. I've got little bits crammed all over the place. I'm just getting used to it though, so don't expect miracles just yet.
Don't rush yourself. That's the trick.
I'm not. I've got to a certain point where I've got lots ready, and now I'm just adding when I've got really good ideas instead of just trying to bulk stuff in there. So,
What am I doing here?
Yeah, I'm forever doing. Every now and then I'll have like an idea, and I'll just text myself it because I'll only forget if I don't text myself. So I've got like my text from myself, just a big long list of random things that just popped into my head.
mine's I've got like people and stuff put in, like a certain amount of people, like ones you'll like, ones you'll dislike, or depending on what I think really. But I've given all sorts of people different skills to help you either escape, get different off-world, prison, or just people to help survive if you're in there, or people how to kill you as well. Everything like that. It all changes.
You've made a whole ecosystem for us a whole prison ecosystem for us to enjoy.
I have.
I think on that side of things, what you've done is more detailed than say how me or Dave will. I mean, I wouldn't normally have so much detail on like different characters. Say within Grimsport, you know what I mean? It's I think that's.
Dave would though.
I don't know. I mean, I think Dave can go to some obsessive detail. Like, say, at that party, I think that was quite.
Dave is obsessed with detail. That should be his name.
What the party at Lady Borella's?
Yeah. So that's the same sort of thing where you've got each person has got, you know what I mean, and you can speak to anyone, and anyone might lead down, different.
Every single person had something that might have been of use to you, but not necessarily for the mission you're currently on.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I've been doing in my prison, and I've got likes and dislikes on people as well. I've got general 5 things to cover. I'm not going to tell you them all, but I've got
old loose lips he wants to, doesn't he? He wants to do it.
I want to, but I've got to shut myself up. But I've got criteria when I'm making people, things, likes, dislikes, a little bit of history, and the odd mission chucked in there with people. And I've also got like victim characters placed around. So yeah.
All right, guys. So we'll come back onto the game then. So where were we then? So there's the 3 of you. There's a load of dead pigs. There's a farmer who seems distraught. But he's 18, Drakmar Richer. And there's Tommy Lee, who you've just got you've just been speaking to. So what happens? What happens now? What are you doing?
So I just suggested, we could potentially just head to this drowning pool and go after Reptile. One way or another, I don't know how you out of character. I don't know how you want to approach that, like gung ho, or try and fucking talk to him, or whatever.
What are you talking to me out of character?
No, I'm talking to them too.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure how I would approach this.
Well, it's like
my in-character answer.
It's right. Okay, so out of character again. What I'm going to say is like, this is definitely the best chance of finding out if he has the painting. However, we do know a few things about Reptile. It might not be the easiest way of getting information.
I think tipping our hand to Reptile, I think, is a mistake. I think we're basically walking up to this dude and saying, we want to look at your art collection.
Oh, no.
I think he's going to know exactly what we're there or why we're there. Like, I think he's going to read between the lines and know that we are a danger to him, and I think we're going to overstep it.
I think you misunderstand my intention here. What I'm talking about is fucking him up and interrogating him, not asking him politely where his art collection is. I'm talking about torturing the cunt.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I do wonder. I think that Hayden is now in a safe space, but it's the good old C-bomb. Just wrap it around his.
Yeah, like I say, Quintius doesn't swear, but I'm out of character, so.
It was inevitable. I'm just glad it wasn't me who did it first. So, but I think you timed that one nicely.
I know. It's Hayden was outside.
I'm on about. Did you though?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, very good. You're a better man than me. What about
You know, honestly, I'm not talking about going up to him politely asking to view his art collection. I'm saying an option would be to take him by force and to basically torture him, because
He's not
that's.
a big player, and I think he's going to have. I don't think it's going to be that easy. I think we need to, certainly not in his natural environment, with the resources of the Mourinho's at hand.
Well,
In
it's an option.
stronghold, I think we should be. Yeah, I think we should.
Wait.
I think maybe lesser players. You know, we can go to Reptile, but I think if we're going to go to Reptile, we need to ingratiate ourselves with him and keep examining everything. You know, until a situation presents itself that we can like properly lay eyes on him. I don't think torturing him is going to be as easy as that.
Dave just wants to use the topic.
I think he's, if I remember from the bounty slate, I think he's got psychic capability as well. I think we're taking on the big fish.
I have another idea, Jan.
A big fish with a lot of resources as well. So I think we should tread a little bit more carefully there and not play our cards just yet.
I have a plan. It's a good plan. As you may or may not be aware, I am somewhat skilled in mimicry and also adopting the guise of other people. And then I'm just going to look across at Tommy Lee and go, Reptile is familiar with this gentleman, yes?
Tommy Lee goes, oh yeah, he's familiar with me. I tell him what I know, and you're on about what do you mean mimicry? What do you mean?
Don't you worry about it, Tommy Lee. He listens to you, yes? This reptile?
Oh, he surely does. He asks me things, and I tell him.
Have you ever gone to him and given him a warning?
No. He normally tells me when he wants me, and then old Lim comes and takes me out there to the pool. It's not normal for me to go and see him on my own, but I mean, surely it's the first time for anything.
What do you think would happen if, say, you approached him and told him you'd seen a vision of doom and that it was vital that he placed a certain object in a certain location and left it well alone?
I don't know. He's not an easy man to fool. Old reptile. He can tell when you're telling him lies. His tongue comes out and he tastes the air.
Well, I don't know about that, to be honest. But
what about who was the guy that we met when we first came? Who was asking us questions as well? Was he in Mourinho?
Wesley.
The one who was interrogating you was a member of the Enforcers, whose name was Lieutenant Toadsmark.
No.
When
we first came to Sport, there was a guy who
Big Mo Marino.
He was a Mourinho.
Yeah, Big Mo Marino, yeah.
Is being able to discern the truth an ability the Mourinho will share, man?
You go, no. I mean, they like to think that they can spot lies, but it's only Reptile who's really good at it.
He can spot liars, but what if he can?
He tastes them. He tastes them.
But does he have the ability to see through a disguise, to tell when someone isn't just lying, but is living the part?
Well, it depends if you could more like smell like the part, I reckon.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we need to get Quintius.
I have a plan. What if I've noticed this man has a distinctive cheesy smell on him.
Well,
What
what
if
do you
I
mean
was to-
cheesy smell?
Oh, it's not an insult, sir. It's just an aroma I've noticed. What if I was to swap clothes with him, use my disguise kit to make myself appear like him, and I believe, with enough time, I could sound like him, and whatever it is that gives him that smell, perhaps I could smell like him, and perhaps I could go to Reptile and say, "Oh, Mr. Reptile, you absolutely must take that painting from your collection. I believe it will bring you doom, and you should put it in this place, and then leave it alone and go away."
Tommy Lee looks at you,
Uh,
strokes his mustache, and he says, and I don't really know you very well, good sir, but I feel like I've known you a long time, and maybe you'll listen to me. I can't help but think that it's a bad idea what you're planning to go out there pretending to be me. It'll never work.
I'm going to look at him for a minute as he says this, and I'm a bit drunk, and I'm going to go, "You know, I feel it too. I feel like I can trust you. Yes. He's right. Let's listen to this stranger we've just met."
And he plays with his mustache a little bit more, and he nods and goes, "In fact, maybe I should get away to this the ship you were talking about. You do know the ship is a killer. It
Yes,
kills for fun."
we may have witnessed something along those lines, yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I just thought I'd ask.
However, Tommy Lee, be assured, one of our very close friends is almost like a daughter to the ship, and I believe that a mother would not kill her daughter's friends.
And he nods to that. He doesn't say anything.
I mean, I don't know anything about ships, so I could be wildly wrong, and we could all die horrifically exposed to vacuum at some point in the night. But hey. Right. So, Tommy Lee, are you sure you can make it through the bio on your own?
No, don't you worry about old Tommy Lee, the bio written in his blood. I'll forget myself a little boat, and I'll be there in no time.
Excellent. Well, hopefully you'll make it back unscathed, and I look forward to seeing you again.
Yes, yeah. I'll see you soon. Well, I think I will.
Tommy.
Yes, horse killer.
What's that?
Sorry.
Yes,
He said yes, horse killer.
Yes, do you need any money to get you there?
He goes, oh, I got a few drachma, but if you got any spare money, I'll have it.
I'll give you another 20 so I can get a boat today if you need to rent one.
And he goes, well, thank you, that's very nice. Drachma always comes in handy.
It does.
So he takes your 20 drachma. If you'd take that off your character sheet when you get the chance, please.
I'll take the previous 17 as well.
Thank you. And is there anything else anyone wants to say to him?
Safe travels, Tommy Lee.
It looks like he's making preparations to head off.
I would just like to ask you one thing. Do you know where Reptile keeps any paintings or anything? Just because I think I asked him.
I think we've already asked him that, but
He says, I don't know where he keeps his paintings. I never asked him. I heard he got a collection.
Do you know where he is?
We know exactly.
I saw him yesterday. He was at the drowning pool, and I spoke with him, and then he drowned 5 people.
Oh. It's quite prolific.
Does he ever?
Oh no.
I'm going to ask Tommy Lee. Has he ever asked you to appraise any paintings?
No. I mean, I like to think I'm pretty good with a brush myself, but he's not interested in talking to me about my paintings. He's a powerful man, Reptile. He asks you what he wants, and then he sends you on his way. He doesn't make small talk with a man like me.
You telling me you're an artist?
Oh yes, I like to dabble with a brush.
Wonderful. Here I was thinking there was no culture on this world whatsoever. I'm something of an artist too, a performer.
Oh, is that right? How do you perform?
Well, I'm an actor, don't you know?
He looks at you kind of a bit blankly.
You know, a man who tells stories and adopts personas and characters.
Oh, he's a storyteller. Yeah, of course we know storytellers around here. I mean, I'm glad to hear it. You certainly got a fancy way of talking.
It's a little bit more complicated than just storytelling, but yes, in a nutshell, that's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if when you get back on the ship and see you again. I mean, if I see you again, we can do some painting together.
That would be lovely. I've always wanted to commission a portrait of myself.
And he nods and he plays with his walrus mustache slightly.
I twiddle my sort of slightly curled moustache in mirroring him.
His mustache puts yours to shame. It's
yeah, mine's a bit of a pencil moustache.
It's overwhelming by comparison.
Well,
okay, so
that does not keep you, Mr. Walrus. I mean, Mr. Mr. Dangerfield. Safe travels.
Okay, so he bows his head, and he heads off into the night.
What an interesting fellow. Strange smell. Right. I think we need to reconvene, find Alexa, get her away from that blasted table.
Shit.
And make a plan. I do have another idea. I've had another plan. We've learned that Wesley, who we've dealt with before, is not particularly.
You haven't learned this, I don't think, did you? You didn't hear what he was said at the table, or?
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. You'd asked me. You didn't hear what was said, so unless
my apologies.
No worries. No worries. It was an accidental chicken, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So.
It's the only reason I was even thinking of it was before all that happened with Wesley. I had a plan to use Wesley before we even knew that Wesley had been naughty.
Yeah, so out of character, obviously, you know that he's fallen afoul of the family and he's been stealing money and spending it on hookers from the honeypot. But in character, you know nothing of the sort.
Yes. My plan was to impersonate Wesley and try and get in the Victorious originally, and I've been modifying that. But...
What's up, Arnold?
If we're off that way again, escaping this Grimsport area, not to the place where they're all looking for us, but criminals, shall we get in the boat with the Mr. Dangerfield?
Well, we don't know what we're doing yet, do we?
No.
Well, the first thing you're going to have to do, Tommy's already headed off, but the first thing you're going to have to do is get Alexa, whatever you do. Unless you want to just leave her in Grimsport and fuck off and never, it comes into her. Sorry, we fucked off. You can make your own way out. But that would be bad form, by the way, in and out character.
Quintius is fine with that. Dave, not so much, but Quintius is.
That would be terribly bad form, and it would be splitting the party.
Yeah, this is why I kind of wanted to go back and discuss our next move, really.
Yeah, that's what we need to do.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so you're heading back next?
Yeah, but we can't do that until Johnny's back.
No, not really. I did. I don't know if he's maybe about. I did hear him talk, or saw the green outline on his page. So when you're heading back, I'd like you to make an awareness test, please, at minus 20 for everyone, apart from minus 30 for Quintius.
Minus what? Sorry.
Minus 30 for you. It's 20 for the difficulty, and 10 for your drunkenness.
Yeah.
And guys, you're all pretty hungry, by the way. You've not eaten since first thing today. Arnold put on a meat medley. But yeah, you're quite peckish. It's getting quite late.
Yeah.
Okay. So you head back.
Being stalked by a reptile.
Stop reading my notes. I've told you once, told you a million times.
What was it? We need to press down and start every time we see noob support.
Because we're
We've been sent on planet to buy a painting for a person off world. Pay good money for it.
I really don't like the thought of leaving what's his name to wander solo. I think we should get him and just leave.
Oh, honestly, I'm not thinking about making Johnny leave solo. I was just saying, what about if we just put out that way after a painting, or to just buy one off? Well, let's explain our accents. Stop us having to try hide around and make exception roles. Tell the truth all the time. We can ask it properly.
I don't.
We're looking for a painting to buy.
I don't think he's going to. Whatever this painting is, I don't think he's keen on selling it.
We all got radios out.
You all have comm beads, so you can talk to each other at short range. Alexa has 2 long-range Voxes, which have more of perhaps a 20-kilometer range.
To be honest, I want out of this place. We can come back. Whatever. I'd prefer to leave and avoid the corruption of this place. Get this guy to the LZ. I'm worried that we're being stalked and maybe he's being. So I don't think we should leave him on his own. I think we should go. In fact, I might run off now and catch up with him.
You're more in danger at Port Tudor than you are at Grimspot, though, Brownie.
You what, buddy?
You're more at danger at Port Tudor than you are at Grimspot.
Yeah, there's an active bounty, if you remember, at Port Tudor.
Yeah. Is he heading there or is he heading near there?
He's heading near there.
Yeah, just northwest, 1 mile northwest of Port Tudor, wasn't it?
Yeah, but once we leave a certain area, we can call in air support. Once we get away from the sounds and all the rest of it.
Yeah,
Yes.
It's not good for you to be around there because you actively wanted it. You would have to maybe stay at the camping point, and we'd have to go disguise as someone else.
I don't think we even have to get anywhere near Port Tudor. I need to get out to a certain point and then call in air support.
I was just saying, if we could see, on Dave's other plan, to see Wesley searching him for information about, because he know a bit about his brother's business, which I can understand his point here. We could have sent 2 people in covert to the honeypot. 2 people go off split pie, but you can't go to Port Tudor because you'll stand up to.
We're not even going to go to Port Tudor. We're going to go near it.
Well, what Hayden's suggesting is trying to get Wesley, who's at you think he's around the honeypot, which is obviously in Port Tudor itself.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think he's suggesting getting information from Wesley. So as far as but none of you know in character that Wesley is off around the honeypot anyway, because Alexa hasn't shared that bit of information with you.
Again,
she learnt it at the table.
I was sat at the table.
She learns quite a lot of good clues at the poker table.
Yeah.
And then doesn't share them.
I was at the table first time round. I was in for a few hands.
Yeah, but this was learnt earlier on this session. This particular piece of information. It was earlier on today, and there was only Alexa there. Quintius was in the bar, but he didn't overhear mainly because he was drunk.
No, I refuse to accept that. I rolled very high. Had nothing to do with my drunkenness.
Oh no, you are correct. You weren't paying attention.
No. Right. So the landing. Speaking out of character a bit, the landing zone for picking this guy up is only a mile outside of Port Julia.
That's correct. I'll put you back on the map of the bio.
If we were to go back with Tommy Lee, that does put us very, very close to Port Julia. And it's not just the bounty on Yarn's head that's the issue. Remember as well that there's an Inquisitor and James Johnson that's probably looking for us. And they're probably going to look for us in places that we know we've been seen before. So there is a chance that they might be there.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
We don't have to go into the port like Yarn says, but it puts us very close to the port. I'm quite happy with being able to infiltrate the port and not getting recognised, because that's literally what Quintius is about. And I can kind of disguise Arnie and maybe Alexa if we can cover her augmetics, but I can't hide Yarn's height. If we were to go back to Port Tula. So what we need to do is we need to decide definitely what course of action we're proceeding with to locate this painting. The way I see it, we've got Reptile, Lim, and Wesley, if Alexa ever shares that information, which she probably won't. They're the 3 best leads we've got.
I think this guy's a serious resource, and I'm not sure he can or should be allowed to go away on his own.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense. These, I
It
mean,
does make sense.
Jagannath seemed very, fervent about this demonologist, and
Okay.
after speaking with him, you do realise that he's said things that he shouldn't possibly know.
Yeah.
Well, if that's what we're going to do, we're going to go back with him. Obviously, we'll run after him now, get him slowed down, but we still need to go back and get Alexa.
Yeah.
And Alexa's probably going to want to stay here and play cards. So what I suggest is we ask Alexa to come back. If she says no, I'll just put my shotgun to the back of her head, blow her brains out. That's that problem solved. We can then get on the boat with Tommy Lee.
So
No,
Yeah,
we need to pick Alexa up.
Okay, I mean, I think we are getting to the point where we'll need Johnny back. So I don't know. It may be that we'll have to call the games to him. I don't know how long we want to.
Well, we can carry on discussing our plans for a bit anyway, can't we?
So what are you doing immediately then? So what are you doing immediately? Are you heading back to town, or did you say you're running off after Tommy Lee? It is dark. You're not sure exactly where he is, but you know roughly which direction he went.
Let's head after Tommy Lee then, and let's travel back.
Yeah, chase him down, and then and at least get him to come with us. Try to pick up Alexa, and then head off. Get a boat together.
So you have been talking a little bit. I'd like you please to make a survival test. A tracking test. One of you two, and you can add +10 for the other one's aid. I don't know who wants to make the test.
I'll do a tracking test. I think I've got that, haven't I?
You both got tracking as basic.
29.
Actually, I think you might have a tracking as a full skill. Actually, Arnold.
Yeah, I do.
And you can add a +10 for Yarn's assistant because he also has tracking.
Okay, let's do. Yeah.
And I put it at -10, please, for difficulty.
-7. No bonus.
So just a straight.
Yeah. So -10 for difficulty, +10 for Yarn.
So just nothing.
Yeah. So straight test.
Ooh.
Okay, so you head off into the darkness, and you're not quite sure where he's got to. There is a lingering scent of cheese upon the air, but and no sign of Tommy Lee.
So let's just go back to where we know. We might be able to pick up this trail.
Wait, he said he was going to get a boat. Did he not?
Yes, he did. Let's go.
Right.
Let's go where you get boats sent to the port, to the harbour.
Let's go to the boat port thing.
Yes. Lord Quintus, I would to hear that. Yeah, this guy can't speak.
The boat parking site where the porks are boated.
Not the parks.
Okay, so you want to head off to. I mean, I'll show you the map of back onto the map of back onto the map of Grimsport. So you are currently over here, well, by the pig pens, although you've moved slightly northward, where you come to this little river, and it's about here where you've lost this trail. There's several docks. There's the one where you were processed, which is where I'm pinging now, and there's a jetty by the fort, by the river fort, and there's another jetty over here. But presumably there could be boats anywhere along the river, or even you know outside of the settlement itself. So you're not. Where would you like to go?
Where are we? Sorry, Al, I can't.
So there's a red circle, which is where the pig pens were.
Oh yeah.
And you've headed northward to this river, which is where you've lost the trail.
Okay.
And then there's maybe 3 jetties, which are up here, and the conceivably could have boats anywhere along the river line.
Keep heading north to the nearest jetty, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to head off northward.
Yeah.
Okay, so you head off like you've lost his trail, but perhaps you can catch up with him. So you start jogging a little bit to see if you can speed up and catch up with him. As you get closer to buildings, there's yapping of dogs. There seems to be quite a lot of dogs here in buildings and around this area. And as one dog starts yapping, then there seems to be like a chain reaction. One dog starts to wind up another dog, it starts barking, and then it sets another dog off. And it's like a chain reaction of barking as you approach up towards these buildings.
Okay.
There's less and less people out and about. It's around about 9 o'clock now. The sun's long since set. The only light is the bruise-like light of the miasma, which looks down upon you. But you do see the odd person here and there. No sign of any of the militia. And you carry on heading northward. And you find yourself at this jetty, which you saw on your way in. There's a couple of boats here, and the smell of fish here is very strong. And you see that there are some people with boats of fish, with crates of fish that they are stacking up. And they've had a haul, and they're starting to stack up fish. No sign of Tommy Lee.
I'm going to call out to one of them. Excuse me, we're looking for a friend of ours, a gentleman you may be familiar with. Mad old Tommy Lee, long, unwashed, greasy hair, a little bit ragged looking. You see which way he went?
Okay, so a couple of these fishermen, they look up at you. I'd like you to make a inquiry roll, please. It's a -10 for your drunkenness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, and one of the fishermen says to the other one, he goes, "Is he local?" The other one says, "Well, it sounds local to me." And the first fisherman says, "No, I ain't seen old mad Tommy Lee, and you ought to steer clear of that crazy old fool anyway."
I do not doubt your wise words of wisdom, my friend, but right now I need to find him, unfortunately, for myself and my companions. Good day, you. Congratulations on the haul. Turn back to Jan and Arnold and go, right, you can come to this jetty.
All right, let's go try the other one on the other side.
Okay, so you're heading to the main jetty. This is where you're processed. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. So you make your way back through town, and there's so you're now heading along one of the main thoroughfares, and you come back to where the Orc is held. Are you bypassing the Orc, or shall I bother putting you on the map, or are you just heading straight past it?
Oh, so
But this is where the pit is with the Orc. Pardon? Say again?
Can I kill the Orc on the way past?
Can you kill it? I mean, it's certainly an option to kill the Orc.
Oh no, it's got to be fair. I'd rather release it. Well, fuck it. I'm gonna. What's he attached with a chain?
There's a chain attached to a boulder.
Alright, I'll cut through a chain. I ain't got anything good enough to cut through a chain. Come on. Let's go free the Orc.
What the fuck are you doing?
Causing chaos!
Hold yourself, man.
I'm not doing it. I just, fleet moments.
We've got a job to do. Find the Tommy Lee. Get out of this goddamn town, man.
Feed the Orc. Penny a soul. Anyway, yeah, okay. I understand the yarn.
Okay, so you ignoring that bait and heading onwards?
Fuck bit and my teammates.
Can't help myself. It's
Too easy.
it's in my nature.
You give him the cards, you give him the horses to kill.
It's impossible for me to resist.
No more, man.
Okay, so you head towards the main docks and now you're starting to see more and more militia as you head towards the docks. And this seems to be a more fortified and secured place within the townstead. And you start to see the militia. Their armor doesn't seem too good, but they do seem to have quite modern weaponry. Whereas in the bayou itself, a lot of people have been, using flintlock or bows and arrows. You know what I mean? Primitive weapons quite often out in the bayou. But here at Grimsport, they seem to have more modern weapons. And there's a couple of militia there, close by. Are you wanting to head out onto the jetty itself? But it does seem to be reasonably well occupied by militias. Quite a lot of them around here.
I'm just going to sort of keep an eye out. Can I look round and see if Tommy Lee's anywhere?
Okay, make an awareness test, please. -10 for your drunkenness.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I'll say by now, Quintius, that one of your levels of fatigue has recovered.
Okay.
So, but you had 2.
Uh-huh.
But so you are less drunk than you was at the start of the session, and you've been all this walking about. You've been walking it off a bit, but you're still on -10 for the time being.
Sorry about the play, John.
Hey, welcome back, Johnny.
Welcome back,
No worries.
Johnny.
These guys have just been going around Grimsport trying to find the demonology.
Any joy?
Which have lost. Well, I can't remember where we lost you. They've recruited.
Oh
him.
yeah, no, you found him at the pigs. All the pigs have died, and then we're gonna make a move. Oh, you free some ferns and farmer.
Okay.
And then drama.
So what they were debating on what they're going to do next. What they did is they told the demonologist where they wanted him to go, and he went off, said he was going to get a boat. And then they kind of changed their mind and said, oh, actually, maybe we should go, and maybe we should get out of here as well. So they ran after him, trying to get him again, but they lost him. They lost his trail, and now they've been going around the jetties looking for them. And so far, there's been no sign.
Did you guys say why you wanted to go to Portula? Not Portula. Is it Portula?
Yeah, well, it's outside of Portula, but they didn't really tell him so much. I mean, basically, as soon as Jan got there, Tommy Lee knew, and he said, "Oh, he knew. He saw his vision. He saw his spirit form for a start."
Yeah.
And he said, "Oh, he basically Tommy Lee said, oh, I knew you were coming. You want me to, come on board this ship." And what he said, and he said a few other things as well.
Mm.
But he basically recruited himself.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Like he couldn't not be in the game.
You can. There's 2 ways you can play it. The trust in the fact that he can get where he's going, see danger coming and things like that, and he's been on.
That's what we were going to do first of all.
Yeah.
I don't think he's. I think he's too rare a resource. I'd rather not.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. I totally get that. The need for that.
Or he'd be.
You guys want to carry on pursuing him. I'm going to wait until morning and then go to the fort and try and join up with the militia to have a scout round. So it is in the party. It's going solo. But I'm willing to do that if you're going to get the first objective completed. Because you can always probably get some sort of transport to bring you back near to the port, or just come back by boat.
So you're going to split the party, is what you're saying?
This is a fucking shockingly bad idea.
That's what I'm suggesting.
Well, guys, what I'd like for you, if you want to discuss your next plans, I'd like you to get back together and discuss it in character, please. So at the minute you 3 are off in the jet, and what I want to do first is just do a bit catching up with Johnny. Johnny, while they're doing all this, you get to do a bit of gambling. So that is what I'd like to do now. Now, I'm not going to go through the slow version of gambling because it does eat up quite a bit of time. So I would like to speed through it. So approximately a couple of hours have passed. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 4 sets of gambling rolls, and that each one will reflect half an hour of gambling. And so you'll be making an opposed roll against the other gamblers.
Yeah.
And then I shall add the variable fudge factor, which is my pack of Malifaux cards. And then depending on that will depend on whether you win or lose at the gambling. So that's what I want to do first. And then when you call up in time, if you want to talk about what you're going to do next, I'd like you to get together in character and talk about it in character, please.
Affirmative.
So the first half hour, please make a gamble roll.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. About
I say your current stake is 50.
Yep.
So you've got a 0, which is it's basically 1 degree of failure, right?
okay. No, 0.1 degree.
Yeah. So like anywhere between, it's basically a slight fail. So
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. It's just it's a fail. It's not a degree of failure. It's a slight fail.
Mhm.
You're right. So you play a few hands, and you
Mhm.
start to get the feeling for your opponents. Father Utah Lazenby, you are realizing now that he's getting systematically drunk. You think he might be a half decent player when he's sober, but he really is. He just keeps hitting up the Grimsport ale, and it keeps every time his ale gets
The old
low,
duck rock.
he just stocks up again.
Based
Samuel
on
Webb.
What a guy.
No, not at all. You're not. No, all my drunkards are based on you, Hayden.
It's half decent play if it's not drunk. Just like it.
But I have to say that everything from my game, obviously it's all bits and bobs that come into my noggin. So there
That's
may
all
be
right.
elements of Hayden in Father Utah Lazenby. I don't know, but there's nothing there deliberate. So Samuel Webb is a much more careful but almost timid player.
Yeah.
And out of the three of them, Uncle Huckleberry seems to be the most proficient, and he's also not drinking.
Yeah.
So you get the measure of them, and
Yeah.
you play a few hands over the next half hour, just scoping them out really. And over the course of this half hour, you end up on and but you don't end up very much, but you do end up. So you started off with 50 drachma on the table, and that goes up to 60 drachma. Okay. So for the second half hour, I'd like to do the same again. Opposed gamble rolls, please, against Utah, Webb, and Huckleberry.
That. Oh, I'm going to use a fate point to roll that if I had one.
I'm reasonably confident that you don't have a fate point.
Yeah, I am too.
Okay, so over the next period of time, you seem to suffer bad fortune, and you don't think that they're outplaying you, but they just seem to be getting the cards at the right time. And even Father Utah Lazenby managed to take a pot off you because he looks out on the river and he gets the card that he needs. So over the next half hour, you lose 30 drachma. So you go down from 60 to 30.
Yeah, I'm just recording it on my drachma in front of me.
No worries. Now you could put more chips in, or not chips. You could put more money in if you want to have a bigger. There's no limit here, so you can up what you have. You don't have to stay on 30.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it up to 100.
Okay, so you take it up to 100. And old Father goes, "We got a big spender in the middle, lady."
It would appear so. Let's play.
And you think that you can see Father Utah Lazenby winking at Webb beside him, and he seems to be getting a bit cocksure. This preacher.
Yeah, I know. Part of my strategy.
Okay, so you're up to 100 now, and Lazenby also ups his pot because he doesn't want to be outdone. Not his pot. He ups his buy-in because he doesn't want to be outdone, and he puts also 100 drachma on the table. Okay, so you go from 30 to 70, so you're putting another 70 in from your own bank. Yep. So on the third half hour, I'd like you to make another gamble roll opposed against these two.
Okay, come on, give me a 1. Better. But it's still terrible.
Yeah, sometimes that's just the way it goes. Sometimes the cards are not with you. You're not playing especially badly. And you spend the next half hour just trying to not bleed away chips, but the blinds keep coming round and round, and so even if you're not playing many hands because you're not doing very well, you still lose some chips. Sometimes you're playing like a holding action. I mean, you're just trying to keep the wolves from the door. So you lose another 20 drachma. You go down from 100 to 80. So it's 50 to 60, then 60 to 30, and then it's plus 70, and then it's from 100 to 80. Okay, so the last half hour before we get caught up in time.
Okay.
Utah Lazenby now is sozzled. He's struggling. Seems to be struggling a bit.
Okay.
And I'd like you now to make another roll.
Yep.
Okay, so this time you get 2 degrees of success. Okay, and now towards the end of the night, you start to get a bit more of a, you start to get a bit more of the actual luck that you need to convert your good playing into money. And you go from 80 drachma up to 120, so a profit of 40.
Okay.
So let's just work this out from the total game. So you started off with 50, so you're plus 10, then you were minus 30.
I've been recording it. I'm up to 332, so it's slightly more than what I started on.
Okay, so it's not been great because the luck's not been with you, but you do feel that you're a better player than the cards have shown tonight, and you definitely think you're a better gambler than at least 2 of your opponents, and probably the 3rd one as well. But sometimes that's the way it goes. You can't win them all.
Yeah.
So, is there anything you want to ask while you're playing cards? Any sort of questions you want to ask anyone?
I won't do it in the Alexa voice. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to make a polite inquiry about joining the militia to fight the orcs as well, where I'd need to go if I wanted to do that.
And you get the impression from the other people at table that they are looking. The militia are looking for men. The bayou's at war. The orcs have they've raided. They've destroyed the capital city, but they've also got a camp out in the bayou. Now somebody or someone has shot down all of the orc air force, and then the orcs were pinned in on the base, and the family and the militia have been fighting an asymmetrical war against the orcs, laying booby traps and ambushes, but not engaging the orcs directly, using the terrain and the flora and the fauna and asymmetrical warfare against them. So
do I have a map? Do I have a map of
the bio? Yep. I'll put you onto the map in the bio.
If I put the map on the table, I'd like put the map on the table. I'd like we're about to ask where would the orc camp be?
What map does Johnny have?
I think you've all seen a map from Gumbo. Gumbo's drawn a map, and I'm going to let Alexa just have that in the cogitators, just for ease of flow at the minute, Dave.
Yeah.
So the orc camp is here. You are up here at Grimsport.
Okay.
The extraction point for Tommy Lee is over here. Over here is where you think Flight Lieutenant Charles Ash and the air support is.
Yep. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like, why don't we just call in some air support? And because they're fighting an asymmetrical war, which is sort of like fully in the middle of fighting, why don't we just send over Charles Ash, fuck up the orc camp a little bit with him?
Well, let me finish. I was still giving you a bit of an update, John. The other thing I want to say is the family then used the guns of the Victorious, and they pummeled the orc camp for a day and a half. So a couple of sessions ago, there was actually a load of artillery. I think you missed it because I think you had your music.
No. Like I remember.
But that was the guys around the table. They mentioned that the Victorious has pummeled the orcs, and now they're in disarray and are in retreat. So you think that the war is going well, but they're still looking for good men in the wars to come. That's what you get around the table. So we've done a bit of like fast forward information there rather than role playing all out. So that's what you pick up. So at this point, we're going to both be along the same timeline. Is Hayden there? I can't see him.
Yeah, he's there.
I need to rejoin the call then. Give me a sec. I get that from time to time where I can't see someone and they're actually there and I can't hear them either. So if you said anything in the last however many minutes, Hayden, I'm not caught.
No,
Cool. So I'm just going to go for a slash and then everyone is at the same point in time. And then we're going to take it from there, okay?
making some food. Ah. Ah. Cesaro sausage. And cheese. Microwave. Amazing for like a 1 minute snack. Oh. Dave, you look deep in thought.
I'm plotting.
What's that?
I'm plotting.
Plotting.
Mm-hmm.
What are you modelling tonight, Brownie?
Nephilim.
Alright.
Kind of like the ones you've got, but I've got the fewer editions. Some of them are the same as the ones you've got, and
Let's have a see.
eh?
Let's have a look.
Oh,
I'm always. Always get a little bit of excitement for.
There's you see Nikima.
Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, she's really tall as well. Like
Very, very, very cool.
in comparison with one of her, you haven't got any of those guys. These are like shamans. You get a couple of shamans and they do magical things for the rest of the bat people, but she's a good twice as tall. Yeah.
That's awesome. That looks nice.
Yeah.
The models are a great selling point for the game.
Satisfying.
They're great, apart from some of them are a bit bigger than others for no good reason.
Yeah.
Sometimes the scaling's a bit wrong.
It's sculptors out trying to outdo scaling with sizes. It's like probably what it is. It's like to make them look harder.
Okay, guys. So we're now caught up in time with everyone. It's around 10 o'clock at evening. It's late. The settlement is quite a few people out. You've looked at the main jetty. There's lots of militia here, but you haven't seen any sign of mad old.
Does the vision I had, because it was various places it'd been, does that give me any insight as to where he'd go?
So you close your eyes and you try and recall the vision, and it's like the nature of dreams. It does fade to some degree, and then you think and you think and you think, and there was a vision of him out on a boat. It was a little one-man boat, and you think and you think, and because your vision was so good, you think that there was a place where his boat was kept along the riverline, and maybe you could find it. The thing is, the vision wasn't there for very long. The main part of the vision showed you was the pig pens, and then after that, there were other places where he spent more and more time. Yeah. So, the frequency of the vision, there was less time spent where he wasn't there as much. So you think you might be able to find where his boat is now that you think about it. You're not 100% sure, but it's possible.
Cool. Well, I'm going to let my colleagues know, and then I'm going to head off in that direction rather than waste time here.
Okay.
Let's go then. Quick, smart.
Okay, I'd like you to make a tracking roll, Yarn, for this, and you can add +10 for Arnold. Arnold's aid.
Right. I will. I'm going to enlist the help of the guild that shall not be named. Oh,
Okay, that looks like a perils to me.
no, it's not. No, I get -1 on my 9s.
You get a what? Sorry,
I'm going to re-roll that with a thingammy.
with a fate point.
2-9. No, I'm joking.
Okay,
Okay, and then I'm going to try net.
fate smiles on you.
Okay, then I'm going to try tracking with a +20.
Okay, and you get a re-roll on that.
Yeah, let's give that a re-roll. Oh, God.
Okay, perhaps it's because it's night, or perhaps it's because the vision wasn't focused really very much on this. But you go up and down the river, and you thought you knew where it was, but you can't find the boat or Tommy Lee. Maybe it's because he's already gone. Maybe it's because you're not exactly sure where he is. But your search is fruitless.
Says, man, we lost him.
Well, bugger.
Well,
I'm going to frantically look around, sniff the air.
You smell fish.
I don't smell cheese. It's more like a fishy smell.
Actually, suddenly there is a waft on the wind, Quintius, and it's not fish. There's a waft. It's not cheese either. You get a waft of something, and it's unbelievably it's unbelievably rancid, unbelievably so. It's a sickly, sweet smell of rotting putrescence that makes you want to vomit. And all of you get a waft of this. It's horrific what you smell.
I don't.
No,
can
you're
you
not
smell
you.
that?
You're Alexa.
Can you smell that? It's
You
not
all-
like
you
the
all
smell.
it.
It's not like the smell of that Tommy Lee chap, and it's not like the smell I thought was Alexa. That fishy smell. It's something else.
This horrible smell. It's we're losing. This horrible smell. I like everyone to make a toughness test of you three, to see if you can hold your food in.
So sorry I'm missing out on this moment.
This rancid smell. The feral worlders get a +30 to it for iron stomach.
yay!
I get a -10.
You get -10 for your. Oh no, Quintus, not again! How many times must you lose your food? But anyway, you retch, but there's not really anything there. It's been a long time since you've eaten, but a little bit of liquid comes out. But the smell, it's horrific. It's disgusting. It's unnaturally putrescent, and then a moment later it passes. What was it that smelled so bad?
What on earth was that smell? Did one of you pass wind?
I thought it was your breath.
Well, it might be. I have been drinking some rather peculiar substances since we arrived here. But generally speaking, one can't smell one's own breath. So no, I don't think it was me.
Can you not, sir? After I drank that ale earlier, I really felt like I had burping eggs for at least after half an hour.
Can you smell eggs?
I can smell eggs.
Ooh. Smells of egg in here, brother. Anyway.
I can smell fish.
Okay, guys, it's late. You're stood in an unfamiliar place. It smells.
Maybe we should bed down for the night and form a plan and continue in the morning. Get something to eat.
Yeah, I think you're right, man. Let's get out of here.
What if we steal a boat now and get out of there that way?
Well, we have to go back and get Alexa anyway, but we need to sleep and eat at some point, and I'd rather do it here than on the river.
Okay.
And we don't know where we're going, so getting out of here would be rather silly, wouldn't it?
No. Yeah. Plan's changed now, hasn't it?
I don't know. I don't know what the plan
I
is.
would like you. I keep trying to hint to you that you should get together, all four of you, and discuss your next.
I'm
your next plan.
desperately trying to shepherd these cats, Alan, but they just won't listen.
You know, you keep trying to have a discussion as to what you're doing next, but you're not all there. So maybe you should get together and then have that discussion. I don't know if I can be any clearer.
Could tell us.
Or you could split the party for the whole fucking night. I don't fucking care. Do as you like, you bastard cats. Be awkward.
You started it.
I did start it. I did start it. I always start it. So what's happening then?
Off to the bar.
You're off to the
Good to see you
bar.
later.
You took the hints, did you? Oh, fantastic. Okay, Alexa. While they're off searching up and down the river, we'll do another gamble roll.
Hopefully it'll be good. Roll 20 is a bit of a gate. I'm sure I'll bet and go back.
No worries.
I like this map, Alan.
Cool.
Yeah,
I
it's
drew
really
it.
cool.
No, I didn't draw it. I lied. I stole it like I steal everything. Steal everything. Steal it. Okay, Alexa, the night has gone on. I want you to know as well, Johnny, that for one of your opponents, I rolled a natural 100. For, as the night goes on, and eventually your run of bad luck seems to pass, you see and you sense that this Uncle Huckleberry is sitting on a big hand, and you get a few little tells off him. You can tell that he's really invested in his hand, and he's betting strong, and you're matching his bets. But what he doesn't know is that you're holding one of the wild cards, the red joker, in your hand. And a wild card gives you an incredible amount of strength. You remember when you were playing at the honeypot, it was a wild card that sealed the deal against you. And this time you're the one holding the joker. And as he basically goes all in, and you match him. Now he doesn't have as many drachma on the table as Utah, but you clean up with your wild hand, and you take the entire pot, which comes to 70 drachma.
Yeah.
So if you add 70 on, and the fact that Huckleberry's just been cleaned out by a woman seems to amuse the other two at the table no end. And Utah is quite obnoxious. He's an obnoxious drunk.
Yeah.
So that kind of seems to finish off the night of gambling. Huckleberry says he's had enough, and then the rest of them don't seem willing to carry on. And about this time, the other three arrive at the inn, and we reunite the party. It's quite late. It's about 11 o'clock now.
Productive.
And you walk in just at the right time to see Alexa cleaning up.
Well, Miss R, how goes the gambling thing?
Pretty good. And then I'm just going to
Excellent.
play the thing and then creep it up again.
Well done. Well, we're going to get ourselves some food and settle in for the night if you'd like to come and regale us with the story of your exciting night of cards.
Yes, I will.
I'm going to head over to the bar and say, Barman,
Well, yes, sir.
meals for 4 people. How much? And do you mind if we eat up in our room?
Oh, no, of course not. It'll be 4 drachma for food for you. I've got a bowl of brown out the back.
Full of brown wine.
This one's on me. I'm just gonna put my hand up and say, this one's on me. So
Okay,
I'll pay.
Alexa pays for the.
Okay.
I'm just going to put his hand up and say, You lot enjoy it. I've put something else out.
Say what? I didn't get that.
Oh, so you lot enjoy it. I'm going to eat something else.
He
Okay.
says, what are you going to eat? He says to you.
I'm going to eat my army ration.
Got a bit of corpse starch. Can't go wrong. Okay, so he comes back then with 3 bowls. So Alexa, that cost you 3 drachma. Comes back with 3 bowls of. It looks like maybe, perhaps stew, perhaps soup. It's brown in colour.
Okay. I'm going to lead the way up to the room with my bowl of brown, have a good sniff of it. Does it smell of fish, cheese, or whatever the fuck we smelled earlier?
You're not quite sure what it is. It doesn't smell that rankness. I mean, you wouldn't be able to eat if that was the case. It smells edible. Doesn't smell of fish. Doesn't smell of cheese.
Can I
analyze? Can you analyze it? You can have a go. Make a tech use test, please. And I'd like you to add, well, not add. I'd like you to subtract 20 for the difficulty.
Yeah. That's never a good thing.
Is it?
With food.
Okay. Vegetables, meat. But there's something off about this food, Alexa. The meat, you're not quite sure where it's come from. It comes from a mix of different things, but there's also putrescence in there. You suspect that it's not fully safe, this food, and you strongly advise or strongly suggest that to your companions not to eat it.
Yeah, I'm just going to tell them. Tell them that.
Is this when we're back up in the room?
Yeah, presumably back up there, So.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to heed Alexa's advice and push it to one side.
Alice going to eat his corpse starts, smiling at everyone.
Okay. Is anyone else eating anything? I mean, some of you. Anyone you got food or any other food, or are you just going to go without?
I've got some rations I took off Chester.
Yeah.
I'm going to give
break them out.
I'm going to give a day's worth of rations. These aren't corpse starch rations, are they?
You checking them? You've not checked them yet, but you check them, okay, and you check them, and they're not corpse starch, thankfully. Okay. It looks quite wholesome.
All right, I'm going to give 2 days worth of rations to Yarn and 2 to Electra.
You think that it's ship's biscuit?
Let them a kick in the balls.
Ship biscuit.
Ship's biscuit.
Yeah, I'm going to give Alexa and Yarn a couple of the rations each. Share them out.
It's rations that you might get on a spaceship, Yarn, like
ship's biscuit.
And I know Arnie's got his own because I've tried some before, and it didn't go well.
Shit, a biscuit, mate.
But yeah.
Okay, you all eat. You feel better for the food. Quintius, after you eat, you lose your remaining fatigue, and you're back up to normality until you decide to drink again.
Well, on that note, I'm going to take a little. Oh no.
Yeah, I think your clear is out anyway. So
I can't remember. I can't remember where I got.
I believe so, if I remember correctly.
Right. So, gentlemen. Miss Alexa, we find ourselves in a bit of a predicament. We have achieved one objective. I'm sure this Tommy Lee character will find his way back, Yarn. I know you pushed from the start for escorting him, but he'll be fine. He's a local. I mean, if Bubba can wander around for forever, and old Gumbo can wander around forever, and all these other people can survive here, I'm sure Tommy Lee, he looked quite old. I'm sure he can survive another day or 2 heading out on a boat by himself. We need to discuss how we're going to proceed with the finding of this painting. Ideas?
I'm thinking breaking someone and cracking them like an egg and then making them talk.
Now, yes, Arnold, I am completely on board with this idea. Absolutely, 100%. The problem is...
I just scratched his head and going, seriously, you like my plan?
Yes. I think we need to get someone. We need to get someone and make them talk. I can think of at least 3 people that may be of use to us. But as Jan rightfully says, this reptile chap does sound like he might be a little bit of a handful, so maybe we should put that one on the back burner. However, there was the gentleman that Alexa played cards with. Sorry?
I could pick someone up and grab them if you want. Just grab them and take them
That's
somewhere.
certainly an option. Let's not worry about the why. Let's worry about the who.
I'm going to agree with that. Alexa saying, agreed. That is a good plan. But I also have a plan to infiltrate the militia, gain the trust, maybe perform some heroic deed, and get closer to you, Reptile. I have scrimshawing on my harpoon cannon. If he sees that I can
you don't have your harpoon cannon, remember, Johnny? You've gave
Yeah,
up to
well,
Digger in a minute.
I can get, or I can scrimshaw something
Yeah, you
on
can
the
get that
side.
back, but at the minute you don't have it on you.
I'm not going to do any Lex exploits. What the plan is, while we're out on the I'm going to demonstrate some of my scrimshawing abilities and stuff as well for art. If he takes if somebody takes an interest, but in a sort of proximity of him, if he sees that I can do art, I can strike a conversation about art. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Casually.
how? I don't understand how you're going to get to Reptile to do that.
Well, I'm going to go and join the militia. That's how I'm going to do it.
I still don't understand how that leads you to Reptile.
Because Reptile's in charge of it. He's in charge of the fighting efforts in this place.
Yeah, he's pretty much in charge of the whole family, from what you've gathered.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Alexa should share that information with other people because you haven't told us anything.
Don't think about.
All right. I'll share this information. Right. I'll share this information.
Hold on. I think other people have maybe. I don't know where you picked that up from before, but I do think other people have said that he's kind of he's a big sort of man around here.
He's a big bit, yeah.
I don't know. I think that bit maybe came from. I'm not quite sure where it came from, but I'm pretty sure you've got that little tidbit.
Yeah.
I don't think we have, but anyway.
All right.
I'm going to share it with you.
I thought the demonologist said that to us just before.
Yeah, exactly. I think he said it earlier today. I'm pretty sure. I mean, maybe I fucked up, Dave, but I'm pretty sure it's been said.
I must have missed that then, because I still don't.
It's subtle. It's more subtle than going in there and going, "Oh, do you like painting?" Like, you know what I mean? You're an art collector. How would I know? How would like a random refugee know that? You know
I
what
agree.
I mean? That's like,
and I don't think that's the way to proceed at all. I don't think that's what we should be doing. I personally think what we should be doing is finding a Marino and torturing the information out of him and literally dragging the information out of him to tell us that he knows the things are there.
We get the chap that Reptile doesn't like, or has been stealing off
Wesley.
Yeah, what if we get Wesley and
we don't know about that either.
Present him to Reptile.
Yeah, I mean, okay, let's do a bit of metagaming here, guys. Now, I think the other guys are missing a key bit of information from you, Johnny, which is what you learnt about Wesley at the poker table. And now I'm doing as the GM, I probably shouldn't meta chicken so much, but it's causing them quite a bit of problem with their planning that they never learnt the bit of information that you picked up around the table.
Yeah.
Now, what you all know out of character is that Wesley's been stealing from the family and he's spending the money on hookers at the honeypot. But Alexis never actually said that to these guys. So they keep running into this little wall.
Okay. All right, I'm going to mention.
Okay, so let's assume that we all know what's going on now, because it's getting quite awkward, this little stumbling block. So the GM's going to step in and meta chicken now, so just to move things along a little bit.
If we know that, if we all know that, then what we could do is we could try and find Wesley. We know he's like been frequenting the honeypot, right? We can get the information out of him, and as a backup plan, I'm going to fall back to the plan I had a few months ago. I could impersonate Wesley and get into the Victorious, but that's going to be really dangerous, and it's a last gasp.
I think that's what we should do.
Then let's do that.
Dave, you're a real Top Gun actor. You know, you can do this. Like,
no, honestly, that's the last chance thing. I think it would be better to get Wesley and interrogate him.
Yeah.
But if we can't get information out of him, I will fucking dress as him, disguise myself as him as best I can, learn his accent, copy a few other things that I know about him, and I'll go in and try and fucking actually find the painting.
Well, speaking of which, right? So I've mentioned the like going to John Militia or somehow getting close to reptiles that we can potentially get in the Satan, right? Maybe you could ask him about. Heard that you're looking for you're looking for Wesley. Do you have any idea where his last known location? Like where he's we could go and hunt him for you.
We already know he's round the honeypot there, don't we? If you're
Round the
sharing that
honeypot.
information, yeah.
But if they know that he's round there all the time, he must be.
I'm going to go for a slash and get a drink, guys.
He's frequenting there, but he won't be out there all the time. He won't be there all the time. So
no, but we can wait there for him.
In case it,
yeah.
In case the joint.
I reckon the reason the Mourinhos haven't gone there and got him is because although they keep saying the Andromeda's Combine are waning here, they still have a big enforcer posse there.
They do, yeah. They do.
And I think that's why.
Yeah. I think
that's why they haven't got him.
Yeah, I think that what they're trying to do is they're going to try and wait for deal with these orcs first and then move on.
Yeah,
and that'll be when they turn their attentions back to the fort.
So the thing is, we can do a few things here. We can get Wesley, interrogate him. He might meet with an unfortunate accident and become a less living version of Wesley, and then we can take him to the Mourinhos and say, "We heard you were looking for this boy. We tried to bring him to you to earn a bit of coin, but unfortunately, he met with an accident on the way." And he died. Is there a reward? Or we can keep him somewhere and I can impersonate him and get into the Victorious and confirm the location that way.
Well, if they're looking for it, right, on the Victorious, you can get into the Victorious, but the thing is, you might be apprehended doing.
Yeah, I know.
Is that the plan?
Just go to straight away and ask to work for him, seeing as we know that he's close by. Or is most likely close.
Who? Reptile?
Yeah, he's by the drowning pool, or is most likely by the drowning pool.
But we've just learned that he can see through lies.
Yeah, so don't lie to him.
And he doesn't. Yeah, but he doesn't trust off-worlders as well. We know that. So that's. I mean, it is an option, but I think it's risky in its own way. That they're all risky options, but. Every single option we've got is risky.
It's off-worlders versus the orcs. I think he might be inclined to use us to fight the orcs. I don't think he'd turn away a resource.
It'd be a chance. The thing is, I know we want to get it sort of done quick. Like we sort of want to move it along and get it done quick.
I still feel like
English. And
improving
ourselves and doing some sort of mission, or even there might be to go and find this Wesley back. Doing a mission like that might allow us to get a bit closer to his confidence, and then allow us to actually get
infiltrate more to go back to Port Chula.
I mean,
before we go back.
I see what you're saying. I mean, one thing is, if we prove ourselves, we might get a chance to even get invited into the Victorious.
Yeah.
And see the painting, but there's also a chance that we'll just end up working for the militia and just being told, go fight there. Right, well done. Go fight there. Well done. Now go fight there. So, we need to.
That really does depend on Al and how cruel Al is.
Not necessarily.
I'm pretty cruel, Johnny.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
Guys, it's getting late.
In the next 5 years, fighting out of the fire.
I mean, that would make for a shitty campaign. That would make for a shitty campaign. I do not want my campaign to be shitty. So
this is what I mean.
That's what you need.
There's pressure on. I'm calculating
so much pressure. Guys,
move it along quicker.
It's getting late. It's you're getting tired. It's been a long day. You talk into the early hours. But eventually, you're going to have to think about getting some sleep for tonight and moving on to the next day. So
Right.
what sleeping range are you making? There's a bed that can maybe fit 2 at a push.
Floor, sleep, going for a piss, be right back.
Okay. Who's taking the bed? No takers?
Well,
I'll take it.
I'm a feral worlder. I won't turn down the bed.
Okay, very good.
I don't mind sharing. Like, fine.
Okay. So Alexa and Jan take the bed. And Arnold and Quintius sleep on the floor. The night is uneventful. Jan and Alexa, you can recover a wound for your good night's sleep. If you have any wounds, you can recover a wound. You awake in the morning. The night is uneventful.
Alexa's arm is round. Alexa's arm, like over Jan. It's just she's not used to sleeping with somebody else in her current form. Yeah. Don't be alarmed.
Okay, welcome back, Dave.
Thank you. I'm.
Oh, how you finding it? Any good?
I haven't had any yet. Leanne's
Oh.
drunk most of it.
Well, I did say you need to make sure you get at least 1 glass.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, worst case, mate, I've got a bit more on the go if you take a fancy to any more. Because at the minute, I made quite a bit of it, and then I've at the moment I'm not drinking. So I've got all these bottles of bloody booze, and they're just
It's really nice. I think I've had some before.
Yeah, you've had it mine, I think. Yeah. I made a few. I try and make it every year, but it doesn't always work every year. I don't necessarily get plums.
It's really nice.
But this year I had a glut of plums. So right. So you wake up. The night's uneventful, and when you wake up, you can hear something outside the inn, and it's the sound of a vehicle engine. And this strikes you as strange because you haven't seen any vehicles really since you got here. It's all been cattle, horses, or people on foot. So you actually haven't seen any vehicles going around. The roads are pretty much dirt tracks anyway, so they don't have like rockcrete roads. So it strikes you as unusual. But there's not just one engine. There's several engines, and they're outside the inn.
Okay, I'm going to quickly chuck my armor on, my hat, holster my shotgun, snatch my sword stick cane, which I'm going to wedge into my belt, and I'm going to go, there's a commotion outside. We need to take a look. Now I'm sober, I'm fully back in character, and I'm going to head out.
Very good. Are the rest of you going with?
Yeah.
Come on, Arnold.
Arnold,
Yes, I will come with you, Quintius. You are in charge of me.
Okay, so you head outside the stump, and you see several vehicles. They've got large tires, smokestacks coming out the side of them, and they're like flatbed trucks with large tires to handle all terrain. And you see the militia are here. You see the lead vehicle. In the passenger seat is Lim Marino. And driving the car is one of the mutants you saw processing, which is the one who had 6 toes on each foot. And there's a bunch of other militiamen in the vehicles as well, in the actual flat.
I'm gonna wave to Lim. Say, what's going on? Can I join you?
He gets out of the vehicle, and he heads over. He says, "I'm glad you guys are all here." He says, "Lady R, how are you doing?"
Pretty good. I slept well. Won some money at cards last night, unlike the last time.
He goes, "Yeah, I ain't never seen no metal lady who can play cards. I know you lost a lot against Tony, but Tony takes money off of everyone. He's a real fucker for that."
He's a fucking thief.
Cheating son of a bitch, eh? Is that what he's saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
One
Lady
thing
that
I
you
care
played against
about
the
is
six
cheats
player.
and lies.
Well, I don't know if he cheats. Maybe he's just very good, but he seems like he has the devil's own luck. You smell fish, by the way, everyone, as you come out. That was fun.
Thanks for
Just gonna briefly glance sideways at Alexa, and then turn back to Lynn and say, "So, you boys are going somewhere? You look tooled up."
He says, "Yeah, we surely are going somewhere. We're gonna go out to the pool, drowning pool."
Oh, used to be a band back on Scintilla called Drowning Pool. Load of emo bullshit. Hated it.
And he
No, I'm
goes,
not going to say
he
that.
goes,
I'm not going to say that.
Is that
at all.
true? Is that one of these random references I've accidentally made? But he goes, "Scintilla?" No, he doesn't. Okay, so he didn't say it. And
It's that Bodies song, you know, let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies... That was Drowning Pool.
Oh,
Is that right? Is that true?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
I do this quite a lot.
Yeah. Cheese.
And he goes,
Cheese attack.
"Lady R, I'm here to extend an invitation. It's not the kind of invitation that you can ignore. It's Reptile. He wants to speak to all of you."
Okay, let's go.
What you're saying is I should just kill you all right now.
Come on, call down the force lightning, Jan. Strike
Is
them
that
all.
okay? Okay,
No, I'm
so
not saying that.
and he says,
Right,
basically
well,
this is
no,
not the
first
sort
of
of
all,
invitation.
I'm going to check the exact numbers and the weapon complement.
Okay, so the exact numbers, you have a look round. I'd like you to make an awareness test at +20.
I sidle up alongside Jan, who is eager and willing to defend me. Not Jan, Arnold.
Oops.
Arnold, you gotta look after my scrawny little ass. Yes, Quintius, I will protect you.
Okay, so you look around and you have a good look at them. They are well armed, but not especially well armored. You can see, you think, over a dozen, maybe 15 in total. Some of them you think are
5
mutant.
kills each, guys.
You think that, you are confident in general in your team. You've taken on
three kills.
orcs. You could maybe well take these guys, but you are in the middle of a hostile settlement, so you may be able to kill these guys relatively straightforward. But what about reinforcements? You effectively go into war with a whole settlement if you attack. So that's what you think. You think you could maybe take them, but could you take the ones that come after and the ones that come after that?
Yeah.
And how would you escape? That's the assessment that you make.
Do any of them have hard hats?
Most of them are not wearing armor on the helm. None of them
Okay.
have hard hats.
I do have a reason for asking that, which will become apparent, I'm sure.
No, some of them do wear. It's like some of them are wearing like primitive metal helms. They don't, and one of them does have what looks like an enforcer helm that's been refurnished. So it's like full-on flak, enforcer flak.
I'm going to.
Hold on a sec, guys. Before you carry on, let me just say one more thing. So Lim comes up close to Alexa, and he puts his hand on your arm, and he says, "I put in a good word. We've kept out on your behalf. Now, but don't make me regret it."
I won't. and I'm just gonna fix him with a look and put my hand on top of his hand. You won't regret it.
An old digger. He's spoken well of you as well. We played cards. You can tell a lot about a person when you play cards with him. I like to think I'm a good judge of character, he says.
I believe that you
looking
are.
into your
How many
eyes.
people is there?
There's, you think between a dozen, well, you look closer and you think there's around 15 people here in this convoy. And you think that your group is quite potent between your psychic force sword and Arnold's axe.
It's crunch time, guys. Let's do this.
Yeah, right.
I'm going to step towards Jan and whisper very closely to him. And as I do, I'm going to open my comm to Arnie and Alexa and say, "Play it cool. This could go our way."
Agreed, Mom.
I'm not going to say anything, but you sense, you should be able to see from Alexa's calm, dispassionate exterior that she's playing it cool.
Kalim gestures up on the truck. There's perhaps some room on the back of one of these trucks.
Okay.
So you're playing it cool. You're not going to attack these guys. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Okay.
Not at all. We're all out. So if it does start,
they've not tried to disarm you.
Exactly.
But although you're, just keep reminding you, your harpoon cannon isn't there, but you're still armed. But they're not trying to disarm you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so you get up on the back of the truck.
This is either a drive out to an execution spot, in which case we'll fight, or it's a job offer.
Yeah, basically. So it's one of the two. It's either both are going to involve getting into a fight. So that's a good thing.
I was just thinking, is it easier to fight without a psychic reptile?
Well, like I say, it's either drive out to an execution spot, or it's a meeting for a job offer. There's nothing to stop us getting clear of the town and then doing something. But right now in the town is a bad idea, no matter what. I'm just going to try and.
Lim's just said he's putting a good word.
Exactly.
So he's putting a good word. So it's like
we also have many common enemies as well. Like we're both on the bounty hunters board. So he obviously, enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah, play it cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So you take the invitation and the vehicles head off out of Grimsport and they head to the southwest.
What kind of vehicles? What kind of vehicles are they?
They're modified flatbed trucks. They've got smokestacks coming out the side, but they've got really big wheels to cope with the muddy terrain.
Cool. I'm just going to make a mental note of the design like that. Just checking look for any weak points or anything like that. If like fuel lines or anything like that, exposed fuel lines or exposed fuel tanks or anything like that. Okay.
Make a tech use test. You don't have right, do you? You don't have that one yet. So make a tech use test at -10, please.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, you evaluate the vehicles. You don't think that they're especially well armored. And you do think the Prometheum is on the undercarriage, and you think a potential weak spot would be to ignite the Prometheum underneath. They don't seem like military vehicles, especially.
Yeah. Make a mental note of
that. They're relatively primitive, although this is advanced for the Bayou by the comparison to the Imperium. Their equipment is relatively primitive. I mean, auto guns, shotguns, frag grenades, and flatbed trucks. They're not, it's not nothing special. Even though it's good for the Bayou itself. So the vehicles heading out and they're heading off presumably towards this drowning pool. So the next question I want to ask you guys is whether you intend to see it through. Take it. They want to take you to see Reptile. Now you've broached the subject of attacking them after you leave the settlement, but before you get there. So I need to know really what you're deciding to do, and that
See
one.
it through.
Whether
See
you're
it
going to go, whether you're going to go see Reptile and hear what he has to say,
I think we
or
should. I
whether
think
you're
we should.
going
I
to
think we
attack
should see
these
it
guys.
through. I mean, this is like a target.
Actually, yeah, we were thinking
We've
about
lost-
going and seeing him anyway.
We've just
Just
lost
to
Dave.
see what
Okay.
he's got to check.
So we just lost Dave, so we're going to wait for Dave to return.
Yeah, just going to speed it up a bit.
I love that expression, James. You're eyeballing Alison.
Yeah. You know,
Where's my morsel?
it's the olive.
What you eating, fella?
The olives.
Oh, damn it.
I don't know what happened there. My laptop just locked up.
I can barely hear you, Dave. I'm going to rejoin because I can't.
I'm not doing bad today. I woke up at 3 o'clock this morning.
Oh, welcome back, Aidan. I was honestly, mate. I was getting ready to call tonight's session because I wanted you to be here for the next part. But if you're here and you're back with us, yeah, no worries, buddy. Like I say, I was gonna call it very shortly because I want you to be here at the next part. So what's happened? What you missed is that when you've woken up, you went to bed at the stump and you woke up, and then outside was several vehicles, and the militia was there. Lynn Marino was leading them, and he said to Lady R or Alexa that there's been an invitation from Reptile, and he wants to speak with you all. And he said to Alexa, he's put in a good word, and he thinks he's a good judge of character.
Okay.
So
He used to have that old man saying that it was a good judge of character or not, didn't he?
no, say it's Lynn Marino, as in he's the one of the gamblers that Alexa's played cards with.
Sorry.
He says he's a good judge. Tommy Lee said that Reptile. No, actually, I'm trying to think. I can't remember exactly who said what, but I think he said something like all the Marinos think they can tell people who are lying and they're a good judge of character, but Reptile's the best at it because he's tasting them. He said.
I see. Yeah, the old body liquor.
The old body liquor. Okay, guys.
Today, that's good enough for me. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we'll carry on then. Like I say, I was about to call it, but we'll carry on if you guys are happy. We'll carry on.
Yeah, I'll be
I'm
alright,
happy.
yeah.
Cool. Everyone happy? So we'll carry on till about 11 if that's all right with people.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I might make it.
Oh, if not, okay. We'll carry on for a little bit longer and we'll see how we get on, okay?
I'm just saying I've been up since about 3 o'clock this morning.
Yeah.
Oh, no worries. I'm trying to think when we started. Yeah, it's been a bit piecemeal tonight, hasn't it? So we'll if we need to stop, we'll stop. So just let me know what you're thinking, guys. I'd like to carry on for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Cool. Okay. So where are we then? So just give me a sec. So the trucks hold up, and one of the trucks, the one with Lem and one with you guys, then holds up, and the militia in this group start to head off on foot, and they leave behind 2 trucks with 2 squads of militia.
Yeah.
Lim is with you. Six-toed Stephen is with you, and there's a couple of others, and they lead you onward on foot through dark swamp. And you're escorted to a pool within a dark swamp. The water here seems bright, and it casts little reflections from the sun above. The pool seems sky blue and cerulean. Yarn, You are familiar with the world beyond, the Immaterium. Your homeworld, Dusk, is a place where the veil between worlds is thin, and as such it is a place of wonder and mystery and dread. But even on Dusk there are places where the barrier between worlds is thin as parchment. In these places ritual and sorcery are empowered. There are ley lines and nexus crossing every world. This place, this pool here in the swamp, is one of such. It's a place of power and energy. So whilst you're on this map, which I'm going to put you onto shortly, Yarn, you have a +3 to all psychic tests, but also you have a +10 to any psychic phenomena or perils of the warp rolls. So that's a negative. So there is more power here, but also a greater chance of things going wrong if they do go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's a trade-off there. Probably on the, I don't know. Depends how fortunate you are, I suppose.
Got to have our third bloodletter of the well, like
Yeah, we need more blood letters, mate. They're always good.
They make it interesting.
There's no blessed halfling to save us all here.
Okay. So
True.
I'm going to put you onto a map.
Fucking butcher us all while we shit ourselves.
That's the spirit.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put you on a map when I can find it. Okay, just give us a sec. Let me just double check it's all in order.
Bloodletter might be getting away lightly.
Okay. So I'm going to put you onto the map of the pool.
Mm.
And I'm going to add on a couple of militia.
Hello, Cerberus. I had a feeling that would be your name when I heard you had 3 heads.
Yeah, but I'll tell you who else has 3. Well, okay, so it's actually a dog. It's not.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Okay, guys. So let me describe what you see. You've been escorted to the drowning pool. So aside on the other end of the pool stands a mutant. He's very short, with scaly skin and yellow, slitted eyes, cowled in a dirty robe. And he looks nothing so much as like a reptile. And beside him is a mutant dog, fierce and disciplined, with 3 heads. And each of those heads is fixated on your party. Yarn, you realise that you've seen this man before.
Mm-hmm.
The very first day that you entered Port Chula, you were more observant than your fellows. You quickly realised that mutants walk the town in plentiful number and without fear. You saw a man with backwards knees. You saw a woman with bones in her shoulder. But you also saw a mutant with lizard scales and yellow slitted eyes. And he was there watching.
Mm-hmm.
And you're now sure that this is the same person, and you do not believe in coincidences. This reptile, his tongue is long and forked, and it darts out as he speaks. And when he, oh no worries, mate. It's been a tricky one tonight. It's been a tricky one. Oh.
So we're stuck with Reptile Marino, eh?
Duties.
It's a drowning pool of all places to meet them.
It's make or break time, guys. Break.
Lovely time.
that either way, we're closer. We're getting closer. Step in the right direction. It saves all the whole infiltrating, trying to get into good books as well. If we're just going to meet the guy, straight out, it's better.
Offer to give him head.
No mouth, just a grill, man.
You need to make an attachment for that.
Hoover attachment.
That's actually a really good idea. The creds will come flowing in.
Okay, guys, are we all ready to carry on?
Mhm.
Yeah. Cool. Hayden, are you there, buddy?
Yeah.
So,
I think he's Hayden feeds.
I'm here.
No worries, mate. It's fine. No worries. I think you're feeding, aren't you?
I'm just cooking noodles. Yes.
Yeah, I knew it.
that time.
So this reptile, when he smiles, he shows fangs, and he speaks to you. I sent you this invitation because I wanted to speak with you. You have piqued my interest. Now, if you know what's good for you, you won't lie to me. I brought you here to decide what to do with you. And if I'm not happy with your answers, you will be going into the drowning pool. And that is where you will stay. The only reason that you are alive is because I let you live.
Good.
I'm just gonna nod respectfully.
Okay, so not anyone saying anything, or are you just keeping?
Ask away.
I'm just watching him very carefully.
Okay. And you see Quintius, as he talks, every now and then his long tongue darts out, like it's tasting the air. And he goes, you say that you want to fight the orc. Is that true?
Yes.
Yes, that's true.
Fought the orc before.
Fought the orc before. Like I say, every time in between he says things, his tongue darts out and it tastes the air. He goes, the orcs are a fearsome foe, and we need good men to stand against them.
Killed them in single combat.
And and again the tongue comes out, and he licks the air, and he seems, well, he doesn't give anything away, but he doesn't challenge you on what you say. So
I'm just going to say that I find the best way to fight them is to trap them first. Then you can just pick them off. And then I'm just going to tap the bear trap on my hip.
And he goes, that surely is the right way to face the orcs. Surely the way that we in the family deal with them. Best not to face them one-on-one in combat. And he looks over at Arnold, who says he's just faced one in single combat, and gives him an appraising look.
Then Arnold just nod his head and feel quite confident with his answer. Off.
Now, Lim, he's put in a good word for you. Cletus, too, vouched for you, metal lady. Says you are handy with the forge.
I like
Skills like yours are needed in the wars to come.
I can make and repair and do whatever you require. I like weapons. Make weapons.
And he speaks again. He says, You will forgive me, but I've been having you followed around Grimsport.
Wise precaution in these uncertain times.
And he speaks, and he seems to look at Jan. And he says, you, sorcerer,
Your mom.
you were heard talking in the town. You talked of the plague god.
Your watch appointment.
You called the laughing monk a god of plague. It's not true, Jan. The monk teaches us resilience, teaches us how to cope with the inevitable suffering of life. The laughing monk, he's not a god of plague. The plagues he sends us are just a test. He's a god of hope. Hope that we may be strong enough to weather the horrors of the world. Hope that life will go on even after suffering and death. The laughing monk teaches us that we are strong enough to endure the decay. Do you respond, or?
No, Alexa's going to she's got her hair down, but she's going to tie it up so that her gills are on display.
Okay, so Alexa ties her hair back, and this is the first time that anyone who's looking will have noticed Alexa's mutation.
I knew I smelled fish.
She has gills behind her ears.
I'm going to shoot him. I'm going to shoot Quentin to look like.
It's been quite a lot.
I'm not really saying that. I'm not really saying that.
It's been quite a long time. She's been wearing her hair down. Sorry, what's that, Jan?
So that's an apt mutation.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
The plenty gives and the plenty takes away. This time.
This is surely true.
I'll say to Reptile, that god has many manifestations and forms around the galaxy. The way it manifests itself is different to each planet. You call him the monk. I say the god. Potato, potato.
Yeah, again.
I gotta have to applaud you there, James. Very good. Reptile looks over, and now he fixes his gaze on you, Quintius. And he goes, you're awfully quiet, little man, for once.
He really has been having this fellows.
Well, Mr. Reptile, or would you prefer Mr. Mourinho?
Everyone calls me Reptile, that's fine.
Well, Reptile.
No one calls me Mr. Nothing.
It strikes me that we are in your domain, and you have not until now spoken to me, as I was politely waiting my turn.
And he looks you over, and he goes, now, thing is, Mr. And he pulls out a little piece of paper from a pouch. Artichoke thistle whip.
Smithel whip.
Smithel whip. You must think us biofolk stupid. Believe a name like that is real.
No, I do not think you're stupid. In the slightest. I have crossed paths with a great many people in my time. What on earth makes you think that I think you are stupid?
He says, Well, it's a preposterous name, and thing is, I'm aware that you change your name more often than you change your shoes.
It's
Patrick
strange.
Johnson, is it?
Name
Or
doesn't
is it?
much as a reason.
Go on, tell me.
Oh, no, Dave. No.
It's a strange thing, a name. Sometimes it can describe someone. Sometimes it can have a link to the past. Sometimes a name has power. I prefer to keep my own name secret. I'm sure you understand.
He goes, I do understand. He goes, those surely are nice shoes.
They are absolutely splendid. Don't you
And
like the way they catch the light?
he does seem to look on for a second. You almost see jealousy in those, or coveting in those, rather, in those yellow slitted eyes. And he goes, perhaps, so what was it? Patrick Dunson, Artichoke Thistlewhip, Trevor Phillips, and he sees counting on his fingers. And he says, or maybe your real name is Quintius.
Maybe
And
it
his long tongue darts out, and it tastes the air. And he sees that he's not baiting you.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is all of those, none of those, and many more. I have had many names in my life. And you, Mr. Reptile, is that your given name? Or is that a name you took?
Well, it's a name that kind of stuck. And it's
Funny.
a name I had for a long time. It is funny, isn't it? And he
Strange.
smiles. He smiles, but it's not a pleasant smile.
I'm going to smile back and say, strange how these things happen. Sometimes one assumes a name or is given a name and it just kind of hangs around.
Now, I've been watching you fellas since you arrived in the port. Sometimes in person, sometimes through my agents, of which I have many. First, I thought you were a serious operation. Perhaps agents, one of the butcher's opponents. But then I realized you guys were just fucking around. Sleeping with whores, starting fights, getting drunk. No way you guys were a military force. You far too undisciplined. But you guys have got some strength to you. It takes strength and wildness to be a gator hunter. It's not easy to go out into the bayou and make a living off the wildlife there. Most folk who tried that ended up eaten. Or drowned or worse.
Excuse me, something in my throat.
The wildlife of the bayou, it ain't something to fly to,
skills
is it?
like flap a little bit, and then she cooks her things.
Have I got my crocodile skull still in the backpack?
Yeah, unless you've left it anywhere. I
I'll
don't see why you
pull
wouldn't
out
have
my
it.
crocodile skull and say, this is what I chopped off last time, if you want it. As a token of friendship.
He says, you offer that to me as tribute?
If you like this sort of thing, I don't know what's accustomed to it, because obviously notice my accent, I'm an off-worlder, but
And
with
he,
Twitter, might be better.
he nods to Lem, and Lem takes the skull from you that you offer up, and he puts it to one side beside a tray. Now you have to wait for me a moment while I find my place. Okay. That's...
Soliloquy.
Sorry, pardon me?
And soliloquy. By all means, continue.
Now, yeah, the wildlife of the bayou, it ain't so obliging, is it? And you guys, you fought off the bandits of the hill tribes. And you were sensible enough to pay your protection money from your reward. Now that shows intelligence. Cletus says you're a skilled gunsmith, Alexa. No, it's not Alexa. Lady R. Whose skills are hard to come by. And you, Jan, a powerful sorcerer if my senses do not fail me. And Yarn, you too can detect that Reptile is a sorcerer and a powerful one. You don't need to make a Psyniscience roll. You can just tell. And you already knew that anyway from the bounties.
Yeah. I'll just nod at him.
Reptile speaks. He says, "We need strength. We need intelligence. We need good men for the times ahead, securing the planet, and from when the Butcher calls for us. The Butcher needs good men to fight the fight that's coming. I make you an offer now. Join us. Work for me. Fight the orcs. Join our family. Serve the Butcher King as I do."
I'm going to just glance at each of my companions.
I think there's only one answer, isn't there?
Sorry?
Yes.
There's only one answer here. Yes.
Is there? I don't know. I'm just glancing at each person and trying to get a read from their facial expressions.
Well, it's got us over a barrel, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's the thing is, it's like, he knows all about us. He can't deny it.
He doesn't know all about you. In fact, he
doesn't know
doesn't
everything.
seem to know all about you at all.
Yeah, he knows a bit about us. He knows, like, he's got like a surface, like a view of us, but he knows that we're going to be good. We're going to add to his strength. So I think this is the way we should do it. Like, you know what I mean? I think we should. I'm just going to basically. Alexa's going to take a knee.
There's no reason why we can't work for him to gain our Inquisition.
Alexa's going to take round to one knee and then lean over and bow, so that cleavage is exposed.
What was that, Brownie?
I said this is what we were talking about. So this is a way in, and being this kind of this is like proper double agent stuff. Maybe
it is.
So I'm not opposed to this.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'll take in. I'll go. Yeah. Let's serve the butcher. As long as we can butcher orcs.
Yeah.
Okay, so to give us a sec.
And I don't think you'll hear a lie in my voice because I'm in space this when it's about killing orcs.
Okay, so where are we?
I say the plague god and the thingamy are one and the same. You should be able to tell that that's the truth.
We've got to really, like, literally, we're on the path. We've got to literally walk the line. It's whether we choose to fully give ourselves over to it. That's that's going to be the difficult bit. But it's just like, we still have a mission to perform, so we're going to have to get really close and possibly over that line slightly to actually achieve it.
Okay, so are you? It's been a quiet for a moment. Are you agreeing with him? He's asked you to serve him. You're saying yes. Is that right, Arnold? So
yeah.
You said what? You said yes. You'll serve. Okay.
Yeah.
So Reptile speaks. He says, good. Lim was right about you. Now, I need you guys to go out into the bayou. And I need you to wipe out the orcs. We've been pummeling them with the Victorious' guns. I reckon it maybe take 2 months, 3 months. We need to mop each and every one of those orcs up. You can't let any of them survive or else they'll grow again like an infestation. So I want you guys to go out in the bayou with my other men. And I reckon this campaign will take maybe 3 months, maybe longer.
Maybe less.
Yeah, maybe less of us. Let's go smite some orcs and thank you, Reptile. Nice cabbage.
Nice cabbage.
It looks like it's holding the cabbage in his. It's like the cabbage.
Nice cabbage.
I paid good money for this this guy, and he says he's holding it. It's a magic cabbage, okay?
Magic cabbage.
Okay, there's silence in the air, and as he speaks of his 3-month campaign.
Well,
Silence.
3 months, man. What's in it for us?
Well, of course, you'll be paid, of course. Good money. Like all the men in our militia.
And where do we strike from, man?
Say, well, we got camps dotted all over the bayou. You'll go over to one of these camps. Salary's good money for skilled folk like yourself. I suppose we can go up to 50 drachma a day.
I'm just gonna ask a question. Like, say, do you have any heavy weaponry I could borrow? Like a heavy stubber, because my harpoon cannon is not quite up to scratch for like taking out lots of arc.
Okay. I'd like you to make a charm roll, please.
Oh, charm is bad, right?
It's not the
You
worst.
get to it.
So is it fellowship, isn't it? No, it's charm. So, well, no, it's
Charm
not.
test, please. You've got charm.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Pretty bad.
He looks like the sort of guy who doesn't bother him with like little
The
details like this, and he goes, "We got all sorts of weaponry here in the family. We got access to all sorts of high technology. I'm sure something could be arranged, Lady R."
I'm just going to bow again. You have my thanks. Just going to say, if you have my thanks, and may help us conclude the campaign quicker.
Okay. So again, there's an awkward silence.
The butcher, man. What is it to you and the people here? What is his arts?
And he says, "The butcher, he's the king of the whole miasma. He blessed by the monk. He's the monk's chosen champion. The butcher, he's close. He's going to secure the plenty."
If the butcher comes to take his ox, then why are we wasting our time?
The butcher wants strong men. He wants us to deal with our own problems. And once the orcs are dealt with, we need the butcher will want strong men to fight in the wars to come. There are others who are going to fight the butcher for the plenty. See, the beggar world is coming back. Only this time the butcher, he's going to take it. And he's going to take all that comes with it.
What's the butcher world? Beggar world?
And he goes, the beggar world, it comes every millennia. They call it the beggar world because it takes. And it takes and it takes. But they say that the beggar world is the key to controlling the power. It's the key to the power of the whole plenty. To control it and to unleash all of its strength. And with the plenty at his back, he will be unstoppable. He will make everything anew. Plenty will grow until it covers everything. And his armies will venture out and conquer all. And the butcher will be the king of all the plenty. And the plenty will be for everyone.
To
So you could say
go
around.
out of character, like what was Tommy Lee saying about Beggar World, and what did you say just then, Mike? What does the butcher want in Beggar World?
Okay, so the butcher says that he wants, Reptile just said that the beggar world is the key to the power of the plenty.
Yeah.
And it can unlock the power of the plenty and can be used to control it. Now, I'll have to go double check what Tommy Lee said. Just give me a sec while I open up another file. Because I don't have it all in the same place because I'm unprepared. Okay, so Tommy Lee, what did he say? He said about the beggar world. He said something, nothing too dissimilar. He said that what he said is that we will go to the beggar world and we will face the butcher, as in talking about you and him.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. And the beggar world is some kind of sentient planet. Celestial. But he didn't mention anything about the butcher getting his hands on the beggar world.
No. Tommy Lee said that we would go to the beggar world and face the butcher.
Go to the beggar world and face off there. So that does beg the thought, what is the painting to do with the butcher? And,
I think that's like I don't know. It's like I think it's maybe a prison of some description for him. It's like in the right conditions.
yeah.
Maybe in the right conditions when the beggar world comes, it might help open painting up somehow.
World's like step above that.
There's only 5 of them.
All right, crack on then. Let's get on with it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So what does that mean? What's happening now? What are you doing?
I don't know.
Where do we start?
Yeah. So.
Where do you want
Go to the Orc War.
Yeah.
You're gonna go and fight against the orcs for the next 3 months. Is that your plan?
Well, obviously not. But as far as he's concerned, yeah.
Okay. So you're going to basically infiltrate the militia and head off.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have every intent of facing some orcs, but I'm certainly not going to fuck around for 3 months. He's tripping if he thinks we're not going to try and do it quicker than that. That's not
Okay.
right.
It's a test, basically. We need to.
It's
He's going to test us.
It's a fucking delaying tactic.
Well, that's
It's
fine.
not a test. It's a way of slowing us down. Kill him now.
Quintus, I am not stopping you from pulling like a gun out or anything like that. You can do, that is your prerogative. If you
This is why I said joining the militia wasn't going to work, because it wasn't going to be you've killed an orc, come and suck my painting off. But now here we are. Kill them all.
We've also
take your pistol out. Start
I haven't
shooting.
got a pistol.
we've seen the route now, haven't we? We've now we know what that entails. That's not set in stone, is it? We could quicken things up. We could do things better.
I'm sure
You don't know how long it takes to kill
play.
orcs in the bayou, but it's.
Play 3 months.
I mean, we've got a really good way of killing orcs in the bayou, but the second we use it, it's going to be obvious that we are a lot more than what we say we are.
Yeah, that's true. He said you're not aged, so he obviously is familiar with what age.
We've got bombers, and we've got, when it comes back, the malevolence.
What I would say is that you also there was talk of like a timed element on this quest, as in there was keen
well,
to complete the quest quickly. So you don't really have 3 months. Lucius hasn't given you 3 months, or he wants the job completing quickly. I'm gonna go for a slash while you have a little chat.
So the thing is, when we go to we go somewhere to get weapons, it might be that all the weapons get to the victorious, and we can just infiltrate that way. Hopefully,
fucking kill them.
Yeah, I want to get a heavy stomach first, though, Dave. I want to give me a heavy stomach so I can kill them with their own
There's 3
weapons.
guys, a psyker, and a dog. Let's fucking kill them.
Here's the other side.
I don't get it. You're like all keen to go up against orcs that we know are really fucking hard to kill. There are 3 normal fucking guys here. Normal guys.
I don't think reptiles are normal at all.
No, he's not. I can kill 3 guys. You guys kill Mourinho and the fucking dog, and I'll take the 3 guys.
I'll take Toast Steve. It's scary. Look at that name. Mixie 6-toed Steve. I turn around and chop his head off straight away.
Versus 3 heads at once for you, matey.
Oh, yeah.
3 for 1.
Reptile.
Okay, guys. So there's a bit of an awkward silence now. You've made your tribute. You've agreed to fight for him and fight in his campaign. Are you saying anything else? Are you going violent? Or are you leaving? What are you doing?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Answer to that.
Somewhere out in the distance, you hear a cricket.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jiminy. What are you doing, Pinocchio?
I'm just gonna look at Quintius and then look at Arnie, Jan. I don't want to be the person that falls out of the gun first. I don't want to be that character again.
do I just go kill?
I don't want to resort to violence.
As far as I see, guys, you've got maybe 3 main options, and one of them is to leave in peace. One of them is to fight, and the third one is to carry on talking. Or maybe there's something else you can think of.
Maybe
Mr. Radio, where's your fucking painting? I've made my position clear.
So you're
How close is the drowning pool to the town? Do you think it'd be out of range of the air defense?
Okay, so I'll put you back on the map. I'd like you to make a tech use test, please. So.
Only that this is an area where psychics might go a bit haywire.
Or be more fun, James. Look at it. Look at the bright side.
Yeah.
Bruce.
It could be another bloodletter.
Yeah.
You're
Then there'd
not
been a
certain.
bloodletter in every campaign.
You're not certain, Alexa, but you suspect that it may be in the range of the SAM sites here. If you look on this map, Grimsport is this big black dot up here, and beside on the little blue dot is a drowning pool. So they're quite close to one another.
Yeah.
You're not certain. You don't know exactly the specification of the SAM sites.
Yeah.
It
It's
could
too
be that it could be that it's in range.
huge of a risk as well. What are your thoughts, Dave?
I've made my position very clear.
I think there's every chance that he's just going to fucking run.
Pull out your cane sword and let us do this.
And then we're an enemy of the Mourinho's.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
We can try taking on the.
where we get. I think
Like,
when we get weaponry, like I've asked for weaponry because that sort of weaponry might be kept somewhere, well secured, like maybe the Victorious. So that might be a good way in. You know what I mean? Get the right tools we need for the job.
Now you've no idea about that, Johnny, and you also saw a heavy stubber just at Grimsport, so you don't. Yeah, it's maybe not the best way of approaching it.
What are you saying? Work for them for 3 months in the hope that they give us a weapon that we might use against them.
yeah.
No, I'm not saying that.
This is an opportunity.
What about you, Hayden? What do you think?
I'm dying to chop a guy's head off with 6 toes.
Dave, no.
Do it then.
Dave, no.
But I do know that's going to kick up a whole shitstorm. But at least my weapon doesn't fire bullets. It's not going to be too
I know
loud.
he's a heretic. I know he's a fucking believer of Nerdball.
Well, that's not really in doubt.
No, it isn't. But
That's
He might be.
he's an enemy in every.
He might be.
He's offered for you to join in the Nurgle fun.
Yeah.
Right, just remember. Right, let's remember. Let's cast our minds back a few sessions where we made a choice. The choice was not to fall to chaos. The choice was to go radical. We are not servants of the arch enemy. We are naughty people doing whatever.
That wasn't the choice
that's
you made, by
not-
the way.
No, it wasn't. You were the chaotic.
Yes, it was.
We're on the chaotic
So
path.
you chose the chaotic path.
We chose the chaotic path, but that doesn't make us servants of chaos. It makes us radical.
No, it doesn't.
You guys have chosen chaotic.
I haven't chosen chaotic.
And now there's another choice.
I've chosen the path of the ablationist. That's what I've chosen.
That's
I've done my fucking research. I know why I've chosen the path that I've taken. I am not going to fucking suck Nurgle's big fat fucking rotting dick.
I'm gonna throw Quintus in the pool. Get on with my job.
When you put it like that, that doesn't sound very like a lot of fun at all. So
Exactly. Right? If I'm going to fall to any
convincing
chaos
argument.
god, it's Slaanesh. But I am not going to fucking stand here and suck off a fucking mutant because I'm a noble-born actor. And I'm a noble-born actor who's a little bit miswired. So all I'm saying is, I've told you what I think we should do, but Quintius would not make the first move.
Yeah, can you see this crossroad? It says Chaotic Path, Inquisitor Lucius Alexander, the Malevolence. You know.
Yeah?
Interrogate and.
Where does it say worshipping chaos gods on that?
It doesn't say anything like that at all. It says radical or worse, which leaves it quite
worse.
ambiguous.
Radical or worse? Radical does not mean chaos worship. I explained
However,
this
the
before.
path of the the path on the laughing monk,
That's
however,
not
is
necessarily out. Yeah, but like we're not on the path of the laughing. We're in
Right.
it. We're in the lion's den at the moment. Yeah.
Shall we just kill
Alexa's going to shrug her shoulders, sigh, and then quickly pull out the pistol and shoot.
Oh, no, it says at the top, path of the laughing monk. Serve the butcher, join reptile mania in the family, embrace the plague. Go. Nah, suck a dick.
See? We never chose. We never chose the path of chaos, as in Warhammer 40,000 chaos. We chose the chaotic path. There's a difference.
Right, I'm going to shoot reptile.
Okay, guys, so I said there's 3 options here. One of them was to fight, one of them was to leave, and one of them was to talk. And you're going to fight. You're going to draw your weapon. Okay.
Reptile man.
Alexa does what no one else, for once, has the stones to do. And she draws her what? She draws her last pistol, her last card?
Yeah, I'll go for the last pistol because it's close range.
Okay. You draw your last pistol. And I would like for everyone to roll initiative.
I'm a gentleman.
The axe is coming out.
You're not quite sure, but you may be mistaken. It may be just in your head, but is the axe hungry, Arnold?
The axe is really hungry.
Feed, Phobos, feed.
Quintius. 5. So what's your? Is it 8, Quintius? Is that your total 8? Is it? Oh, no,
is it?
No, that's
Yeah,
no, no. It's included your agility. So
Yeah.
Total 10 for me.
And I got a 1. I drew my pistol first. Got the lowest score.
Nice. You also had +2, Johnny, for your magic ring.
Oh yeah. So that's 6.
Hayden, you're on what?
10.
9 or 10?
10.
You're right. You're absolutely right, Dave. Like the best course of action. I don't know why.
I've never. It's weird. I can never judge what you guys are going to do. When I think you're going to be reasonable, you go violent. When you think you're going to be violent, you go reasonable. And it's impossible to know what you're going to do. So I'm going to roll some initiatives then. So we got a reptile.
If he summons demon and kills us all, then.
Well, all of you have a fate point to burn.
Shit happens.
You, Johnny. So
except for me, yeah.
So most of you probably be okay. But
that's how Alexa dies.
Don't worry, Alexa. I'll protect you.
How very reassuring. No, I'm believing I'm confident in the powers.
Don't worry. I have a plan.
Are you going to run in the opposite direction?
No, I actually legitimately have a plan.
Cool.
Okay, let us.
I'm going to look at Quintius like he's the new Erebus.
Oh, as I'm drawing my pistol, can I just put my hand to my ear and just turn slightly away so that. Well, no, I'll be able to.
I think it's all going
I'll
to
be
go
that-
to shit very, very quickly. It's going to happen in initiative order. As soon as you go for your gun, everyone else is going to start.
They're
Yeah,
all
I
going to be
mean,
on edge.
the whole
aren't they?
situation is quite tense. You're not going to get a surprise round here because everyone's looking at each other. There's quite a tense atmosphere, lots of awkward silences, and so I'm afraid it's not going to work like that. So we're going to go in initiative order. So Brownie's on 11.
I'm just going to go for a real quick piss.
No worries.